Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures pointing to further losses this morning, coming up after we saw that steep sell-off late in the day yesterday, almost accelerated into the close yesterday afternoon. A little bit to the downside as we come into the open this morning. All three major U.S. indexes coming off about a 1% decline yesterday, both the Dow and the S&P down about 1.2% at the end of the session. The decline came even as Pfizer was out with revised final data on their COVID-19 vaccine, saying 95% efficacy rates for their vaccine as well. Both Pfizer and BNTX back on the watch this morning. We'll talk about NVIDIA shares coming up. They reported earnings aftermarket yesterday. A whole bunch of earnings to get through. Sonos, the speaker maker, big move in the aftermarket. Continuing this morning, we have Victoria's Secret parent L Brands also back to the upside this morning after a blowout quarter for them. It's Thursday, November 19th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see, for the most part, pretty negative showing here outside of Australia. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up. Yeah, more red numbers here, pretty much top to bottom for the European markets. We'll slide over to North America and see a bit of a mixed start to the day as well. All three U.S. markets to the downside so far, with TSX futures basically flat here in Toronto. Brazil's open, trading higher. Bitcoin, yeah, almost 18,000. We'll check on that coming up. Crude oil slightly lower, and gold back to the downside as well. Did it get there, Sean? Are we at 18,000?
Yeah, it's at 18.1 right now.
There you go. So, yeah, back to the upside for Bitcoin. Can't stop, won't stop. Lots of earnings to get through this morning, guys. Surprise, I think, a little bit as far as L Brands is concerned. A retailer, blowout quarter for them. Sonos, also a good look.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, if you had to pick one that didn't go well. I mean, Macy's, we talked about this one possibly disappointing at least a little bit after, retail sales numbers weren't that great, and that's going to be the one. Not everything is looking fantastic, of course. I have Joy up here. Short seller report came out yesterday. It'll be interesting to see what Baidu does with their deal, because 7% of Baidu's market cap is the value of Joy's business that they're going to be taking on. Does it go through? Does it not? Two stocks that are definitely going to be on the move today. I mean, I can't say what Baidu's going to do here, but they're obviously between a rock and a hard place. We'll be watching a little bit of Boeing as well, because that's looking like it's continuing to sell on that news. And of course, your favorite is back in play again. More positive news for Palantir there, Sean.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, Palantir just keeps on rocking and rolling. I keep selling. I'm getting lighter and lighter every day on Palantir, but I told Greg now I'm going to stop finally doing that. And also, guys, look at this. I did sell some DraftKings yesterday as well. We were long at 35. I got out some at 47.70, only to wake up today and see another big move here. Whoops. Another big move here on DraftKings, 3% higher again. It's like we can't stop and won't stop on some of these names. Tesla's not on our watch list, but there's no real significant news. I just tweeted it out, guys. All-time high, 502 and change. So that is rapidly approaching. And for those of you that remember, I think, and I was talking to the guys here a couple minutes ago, that last week someone asked when Tesla was near 400, are we going back to all-time highs? And I put a big stamp of a hell yeah on that one. And it's going even higher, guys, because people aren't even talking about so many different catalysts that I believe Tesla has. So shout out to Mr. Murphy as well. If you're watching, congratulations on some of those calls.
Yeah, big moves this week following the announcement of the move to the S&P for Tesla. Lots of good stuff to get through this morning. Let's have a look at what's coming up a little bit later on in the show. Brand new educational video coming your way about 11:40, 11:45 Eastern. Valeria will have that set for you. Yeah, she's very concerned about stocks to own versus stocks to trade. So we'll talk all about that coming up a little bit later on. Valeria will have the link in the chat for you. Speaking of Miss V, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to her.
Good morning, Brendan, and hey guys, I wish you all a wonderful trading day. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We'll have a look at what is happening around here at Day Trade the World yesterday. We'll have a look at the top 10 trader list, as we like to do here at Day Trade the World. Yeah, 56,000 sitting there at number one. Coming out of these markets, so not just one or two, but a whole bunch of markets, almost 50K there in number two. I got to go down to number three to get into some European markets, some Canadian content down here at number five as well. Almost got to that five-figure club as well. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. Let's have a look at what is moving around in the pre-market this morning. Mentioned a whole bunch of earnings news to get through. The first one we'll talk about NVIDIA. Yeah, not so good for NVIDIA. Back to the downside this morning. Initial move was higher in the aftermarket yesterday. They were talking about significant improvements in the gaming space, but overall, I mean, it's kind of a negative sentiment as far as the report goes here, guys.
I mean, we're following along the lines of very many tech names which have been making extraordinary gains. That's why I have the daily chart up so you can see here. Getting a bit of a sell off of earnings, which actually wasn't a terrible report by all means for NVIDIA. But you know, the data center business, I think there were some concerns with their guidance there. And you know, they're actually refiling for that ARM deal, so maybe they can get past antitrust. Who knows how that's all going to play out? So there's some certain things that are probably keeping it tied to this interesting range. And it's just sitting on this this 50 period here. And if you go to the 15, you can see what we've been doing in NVIDIA for the last week and a half, and it's this 520-ish range up to like a 540 area, which it hasn't broken out of. I think it's going to be fun times if we get at some point back through the upside there, but I'm not going to force the issue that it has to be today. If it takes the bottom at 520, I think is a good shot that maybe it retests back down to 500. I mean, the market's basically flat today. I did have one quick look at a 530 break. Maybe taking that up to yesterday's close for a scalp style trade. So a couple of ways to play NVIDIA. It does feel like if it's going to be inside of that range, I'm not going to be too heavily involved. I think scalping it inside is going to make the most sense. I think it's breaking down. If I had to guess one way or the other today, that's why I'm looking at that 520 level first.
Okay, yep, just looking at the chat there. Okay, 530, yeah, and look, NVIDIA, apparently that Mellanox deal, that's fine, but there was, like we mentioned there, some sort of a buyer that's not going to be coming back again. So there is something like that. Oh, CCL just files offer to common stock. Let's just watch CCL. Oh, that was yesterday. The guy just said it right now here. Walter there. Let's see it. Nothing's happening. Let's see. Oh, a little bit of a move down, but nothing much there. Okay. All right. Back to NVIDIA. 530 right now. I have 545 as a break. That would be up here. Yesterday, sort of after the release came out, we did have a top here, 544 in the afternoon. It doesn't look like we're going to get there. The NASDAQ's coming down today. I feel like this is going to be a negative day. We just talked about putting some inverted ETF positions on for the market, SPXU and whatnot. I think that should be an okay spot for the next couple of days. I just feel like the market's pretty heated, and I do agree, man. This 525 break just for the day's low here on the market looks pretty good. We did top down yesterday at 527 before rocketing upside $15. So yeah, 525, 527 or so for the downside. I think NVIDIA can break that. It's actually 526. So 526 south side on NVIDIA. I'll be taking that.
All right, big moves for Sonos this morning, almost 20% at one point in the pre-market there. Much better than expected earnings for Sonos right across the board. Both the top and bottom lines easily surpassing estimates. They also said the forecast going forward, Q4 and next year, also looking better than expected. We talked about this on the show going back months now, how this was kind of a stay-at-home play in some sense. People upgrading their speaker systems in their homes because they're spending more time there, right? So also multiple analysts either upgrading the stock today or increasing their price targets, guys.
Yeah, talk about a breakout of sorts in Sonos. The one thing I like to look at when we're talking about a break that's going to be this big, or at least a gap that's going to be this big, first of all, you do have a bit of a trend, and it was sort of trending into a breakout anyways, whether this had happened intramarket at 18 or not. It does give you a nice little push here, but I'm watching the fact that we're holding between, you look at this little top, it's about 2080, more like 21, and this is as high as it was trying to get to in the aftermarket. When you fail to break through, this consolidation usually yields one of two things. And if you don't get some kind of a pullback into 19, it's a decent shot that you're pulling into that 21 mark, or at least that 2120. So my first look is going to be that I want to be on the north side of this. It's very, very, I don't want to say illiquid, but only 500,000 shares are traded in the pre-market. So I don't know that it's perfectly set up for an opening dip trade because it could be something a little bit rapid, but I'm just staring 19 in the face that if it snaps down, this one could pounce like a rubber band back to the upside. Now, if it holds anywhere any of these pre-market levels like 1980 or 20 off the open, I think all systems go for a breakout trade. My first look would be just given the liquidity that you might actually get a shot if there's some selling into this news down towards that 19.
Yeah, 2050 here. I absolutely love this Sonos on a break. Anything to the upside. I'm not going to be shorting, but if we can get something in 19, I mean, that would be fantastic. I don't think that happens, but $20.50 right here, even higher, 21. You can take out any of these tops today. I think we take them all out, so it doesn't really matter where you get long, but the problem right now is that it's going to go before the market opens. So this is probably going to be up here in about 10 minutes, 21 and change. So we're going to wait to see, though. I'm not going to get long now. Like we said, we'd want to watch the liquidity. 600,000 is pretty good for liquidity. Brennan, I did want to bring up one more thing because you just mentioned it there. And yeah, I remember back, and I think it was, it might have even been more than, I think it was back down here somewhere where Sonos started popping up and we were like, oh yeah, maybe that is a stay-at-home play type of deal. And it was around here. I think it was this big day where they got an upgrade or someone came out with that idea. And then since then it's just been popping. So just another reason, Brendan, why you got to watch the show and pay attention to some of these reports that come out because you could have invested in Sonos for sure $10, $11, $12 based on what you were talking about on Trader TV Live just about a couple months ago. So credit to you for finding that story when it did come out, and I do remember it. So yeah, Sonos, I like the break, 2050, 2075. Let's go.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that it was kind of lying under the radar. Not a lot of people talking about it back at that time. So interesting look, and now, yeah, here we go, all-time highs almost for Sonos. Let's go to L Brands. The other one, other big earnings report, the Victoria's Secret parent, better than expected report right across the board as well. Net income was the big one, $330.6 million or $1.17 per share, blowing away estimates here for L Brands, guys. So it was all about the online sales, especially in the Victoria's Secret brand specifically. They said digital sales were through the roof during the quarter.
This is another interesting one. The term they call it like nesting for people that are stay at home. Yeah, you're gonna spend more time at home, and the lingerie business doing well for them. So congratulations, L Brands. I was looking at this 39 level. It's done even less shares in the pre-market than we were just looking at in Sonos. So 400,000. That's not a break that I'm going to take pre-market to the downside, 39. But this was a level I was watching to see if it did fill in that gap. It looks like, I mean, 38, if you go all the way back in the daily chart, and this is going to be, you actually have to take it pretty far back here to be able to see this 38 level going back into like 2018. It was a double top, and it's just trying to recover and gapping through there. So 38 could provide some support on the way down. That's the only other level I'll be watching here. I was going to look for a 39 breakdown. So I guess if it holds here, like 38.80, 38.70 to 39 without breaking it off the open, I think the retracement's still on. But that's not a trade on this low volume that I have interest putting on 15 minutes before the open.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like L Brands, but not enough to do anything with it today. I mean, it's already up huge. We were not expecting this kind of a return from this stock, and plus it's in. I mean, look, they have online sales. We know that that's going to continue to be huge. I mean, no one's going to malls anytime soon. New York just shut everything down school-wide there. So I don't like anything retail right now. We're going to get to Macy's in a minute, and that's just part of that story as well. So I'll give an opinion more on Macy's here, what I feel about the retail.
Yeah, it continues to slide even as we speak here. Macy's coming up in a second. Let's talk about Joy, the Chinese social media platform, getting absolutely crushed late in the day yesterday. Muddy Waters coming out, calling out, what was the exact phrasing? Something to do, a multi-billion-dollar fraud. Yeah, so those were their words, not mine. But here we go again, back to the downside for why?
I'm really, I'm honestly, we did a thing on this yesterday. I'm really tired of these short sellers and these reports coming out. Like, look at YY here. Let's just call up a daily chart here. And, they're heading up. I mean, it has been a double here in the last couple months. And then all of a sudden, making new highs on some Baidu news. And that's when, of course, it comes out that they feel that it's a fraud. So obviously, I think it was Baidu buying their YY Media stream there in China. So look, Baidu's doing the research here, and I'm going to trust them more than Muddy Waters. But that was a big fall back down. We now come back up. So here's YY today. It looked like we tried to bounce a little bit here at 87, 88 yesterday before it just got hammered once again. Like, this is the big one. Like, the report comes out, that's fine. It stops about 91. That's 10% or so down. And then it stops again about 88 or so before coming back. And then I don't know what happens right here, but someone maybe starts agreeing with them, and then it's dump city all the way to the bottom of $70 again. So, look, I don't expect any of this to happen. I actually think it can go higher. So 88 or so here as a break, 89. I don't know the company very well, but if you did want to sort of make one of those YOLO trades, just believing in it, just like NEO the other day, right? When they came out and put a $25 price target on that Citron. Yeah, good job there. $88, I think you could take a risk here, $87.50 if you were looking for a big win for really no reason. But I'm not going to trade this one today.
Yeah, I took a shot at this in the afternoon off of these levels down here at like 75 before it went to 70. Lost a couple bucks on it, just trying to get a bit of a bounce play. So obviously hold overnight, hindsight's 2020. The only difference between this and NEO, well, a difference between this and NEO is you make a distinction between coming at the actual core of the business and calling them a fraud, as opposed to simply saying we think it's overvalued. When, I mean, if you look at the EV space, there's a good chance to say that that's the future, and you're paying up for what the future is going to look like in 15, 20 years, as opposed to this, where you're just outright saying that user numbers and all of that relevant data, gift giving is fraudulent. Those are some serious allegations. I think Baidu does bear a watch. I mean, Sean just went over some of the levels here. I don't have too much to add to those levels, but I was looking at Baidu today, and it's interesting to me that Baidu was sort of already having this little top party at 150 where it was bouncing off of it to the downside. So I'm looking at this 140 mark, and it just sort of stands out like a sore thumb. You get this nice support that it had over the last week or so at that 140 level. If it creeps back above here, if I was going to take one long on a break, I would lean more towards Baidu breaking this 141, 142, and then just simply make the bet there. I mean, liquidity right now, only a couple 100,000 shares in volume here in Baidu, but I'm looking at this one as well, and I feel like if there's a fall off, I don't mind going short in Joy, but it would probably be as long as it doesn't test and break that pre-market high.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens with this thing today. I mean, it's not a small company. It's a $9.5 billion market cap. So we'll see what happens with this YY today. Guys, if you're joining us for the first time, take a second, hit the like and subscribe to this channel. Also, we have big news coming up in just over a week. So the 30th, the last Monday of the month, we're going to be switching our start times. We're going to go back 30 minutes to 8:30. We'll talk about more symbols, more in-depth analysis. We might even bring on some guests, talk to some experts about what is coming up in the market on a given day. So keep that in mind, throw it in your calendar. And that is coming up again, as I said, on the 30th. So don't forget about that. We're changing over to 8:30 start time. Really exciting. Let's talk about Macy's, guys. Yeah, I mean, disappointing, obviously, with the pandemic. Sean was just saying, not a lot of people going to malls, definitely not department stores anyways, but they did say they had a 27% increase in digital sales, which was kind of on the low end of what I think people were hoping for Macy's, but overall a loss as expected for Macy's.
Yeah. I mean, Macy's, look, I talked about New York already, and I've been trading Macy's. Not recently. I like to trade it when there is earnings and when the call comes through. Come on, chart. Let's get off YY. Here we go. Macy's down that 5% today. And look, I didn't really write down any levels other than we'll have to watch what happens at $8. I did want to look at the imbalance locator. Just reminded myself that we haven't looked at this yet. Of course, the biggest and baddest is right there, Palantir. I don't even see Macy's on here. I mean, I do, but it's 150,000. That's not very big. We've already done 5 million shares, and we've had a small pair off. So there's not too much interest rate here in the stock. That's only 100 100 plus 150, so you only got 250,000 there to begin with on Macy's. So the imbalance locator, I'm just going to keep it here. You guys want to see this for a couple minutes, and there it is, NEO right there with the buy. But okay, Macy's comes out, and they do well, and I'm really glad to hear that. Obviously, they have better than expected online sales. Imagine if you miss online nowadays. I can't even think about what would happen if that was true for a retailer. But you're coming down. You saw Target yesterday. Wow, that was monstrous. Why get your money in Macy's when you could just put it into target. I think that just makes more sense. Here is the daily chart. It's broken out, so there's no doubt about that. 6 was such a fantastic bottom. If it can hold that, that's great. Today, that top right there is 8. This is what we're looking at, guys. It's topped out at 8 a couple times and then held 8 back here. So I think we can retest 8. I'm probably not going to do anything until we get to that level. Even here on a 20-minute chart for Macy's, not much action here at all. Like, you know, you come back, you did have a formation of 8. It kind of just made its way back to the upside. If anything, we've stopped at 840 here today, and so that could be a little bit of a spot. We do have 840 as a high back on the 9th. So 840 as a selling is going to be where we start the selling, and then I do want to see what happens down here at 8. So $8.40 to the sell side is what we're going to be looking at.
It's Boeing back on the watch list after the move we saw yesterday. Big gap up on the news. The FAA had given the clearance for the 737 MAX to resume flights in the U.S., but that got faded. The entire move to the upside got faded throughout the day. It actually closed basically flat. So no additional news as far as Boeing is concerned today, but definitely one to watch out for. Let's go to Palantir. They picked up a government contract involving the U.S. Army. There was no monetary numbers discussed as far as the contract is concerned, but another day, another gap for Palantir, guys.
I mean, the other side of it, though, is, I mean, obviously you guys watched yesterday. Anyone watching yesterday knows about Soros, and yeah, they know everything about you. That's part of Palantir's business, and so the ethical and investing aspect of it, pulling his money out of Palantir, had zero effect on the stock except to make it consolidate. The only thing I'm going to look at, and the reason I'm going to say this is because I have maybe a different opinion. I don't know exactly what Sean's going to say about this one today, but I just look at this setup of the last couple of sessions, and you get this consolidation right in here. You know, it's right at this like 1865-ish range. So it's an obvious break. I don't want to say obvious, but you have pre-market breakout. You do have this hump from the afternoon at 1 o'clock. You had a previous top that other day, the previous session. So if we're not taking this price out, then I actually want to try my hand at shorting Palantir. And this is probably the first time I've said this because it's been such a steady climber that it's not the type of thing I like going in front of. But today, if it holds this one off the open, if it breaks at the open, all bets are off. But if it holds it at the open and gives me any kind of a breakdown here at 25, I'd take a shot at this one and then just give it to that 1860, 1865 area. It's the first time I've actually thought this, but I'll step into it this time if I get the look that I like on Palantir.
Okay, yeah, Palantir. Okay, guys, I trade this every single day, as you know, and yeah, we're going to be doing it once again today. So the thing about the breakout is, I mean, this has probably been the best stock for any of us in the last 2 months, for sure. And then so here you go, guys, 1860. So normally I take this breakout on the top, and I think we can do that on this news, but it did have a problem yesterday, so I'm wondering if we give it a little bit more, 1865 or so right here to make sure that we break that. The top today is really just 1860. It's kind of splitting hairs, but Palantir continues to be a big one, and I want to do a big congratulations to everybody that went with me on this. I'll continue to try to give some plays for you for some more longer-term stuff, but there goes Palantir again, 1864, 1865. We'll check it out. It is on the imbalance locator, guys, right at the top. 900 at the top for Palantir, Brendan.
All right, guys, let's go to Arun. We'll have a look at the overall market and see what levels we need to be aware of when it comes to the futures this morning. We're kind of grinding back into the middle of this range, Arun. What are you looking at today?
So yesterday's slide opened up some doors finally for some actual trading. Unfortunately, we have put in a base and a top. So 45, it seems to be 45 area seems to be some decent amount of buying. So I'm going to put the level down at 40 for 35.40 is the bottom end for me. And the top end is the overnight high, which is just above 70. I'm going to push that up to 35.75. I think we got up to like 35.73 or something like that. 35.75 is going to be the top end. Between 65 to 75, you got sell side action. Between looks like 55 going down to 40, you've got buy side action. My personal read is that I think there's just enough buying to take a shot at the long side. If things change at the open, then I'll just dump it quickly. I'm already long here, 35.57.75 is where I'm long. I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot at the long side just because I think there's enough. It's going to be a quick trade. It will be a reactionary move off the open on what I do with that. But that's the direction I'm looking at. Those are the two levels. And of course, 36.15 is where we stalled yesterday before we broke that low of 35.85. So 36.15 is another level to keep an eye on. above our 35.75 there, Brendan.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Let's talk Nikola here, guys. We still have a couple of minutes. Want to get through some of these small ones as well. Nikola, the news yesterday, it was right at the open, essentially. Nikola popped up on rumors that GM had come out with some tech, new quote-unquote tech that was going to be used in the Nikola vehicles. Both sides later denied that was the case, but they are still talking and looking to work out some sort of a deal. So Nikola back on watch here, 4.5% again today.
We actually had that move on Nikola yesterday, and here it is right here. This was a big trade for us. We were long off this move yesterday. We got long somewhere in between 22.60, 22.70, and then you guys know we dumped it right in the middle of this. So that was about a $3 or so win. Right in the middle here is where we dumped it on this move. We actually had a stop order set for 25.50. So we got some out here, half out for about $1.50, and then it was another $3 winner there. I like Nikola. I like the story here, especially if GM can start to support them. I think that's fantastic. And if they stay with them, that's another great story. But it's fallen back down, 4.5% here. It's been on a huge run, Nikola. So it doesn't seem like it, but it was just at $18. What day was that? November 10th. So let's call it, a week ago, basically. It was at 18. Now you're waking up at 27. I'm just nervous that this possibly gets sold off here. Just people capturing these profits. You did have a bunched up zone right here, $26 up to $26.50 or 70. So you have about a 50 or 60, 70 cent range right here where we bunched up. I think that could be a good spot to hold. So watch out for a hold down here of 26 and see if we can pick some up on the low side.
I just want to give a look to the daily chart just so you can quickly see the bottom end of this range, this 27.50-ish area. A couple of tests here back in early October, and then just now, just obviously this pre-market testing that same level to the upside before rolling over. So it does feel like there's a bit of resistance through that 27.50 area. That makes it a bit of a breakout point or squeeze point, whatever you want to call it. I'm not particularly as bullish or that bullish on Nikola in this space as some other names. But I would like that break at some point, whether it happens this week or next. And for me, this is one of those obvious areas to sort of short in front of if I get an opportunity lunchtime or get an opportunity maybe off the open to do a quick short reversal off of 27.50. That's the only level I'll be playing on Nikola. I'm not really looking too hard at that 25, although it does look pretty solid as support.
All right, guys, day number 2 for CIIG Merger Corporation. We'll stay in the EV space. News came out yesterday. Align, UK-based EV maker Align was going to go public. $5.4 billion deal with this SPAC CIIG Merger Corporation. So definite higher relative volume again today for this one. Again, we're gapping to the upside. CIIC here is the actual ticker. 18.5% again today.
Yeah, I mean, it's the EV space, guys, and these guys make I hate to say cube vans, but they're like commercial type vehicles, like little tiny buses and those little delivery type vans. So a very practical sense here. I am watching this 1550 level on this little retracement that it just had, and of course, this is the level I wanted to play off of for any type of a long, and we just spiked like 50, 60 cents. It was all offer, just evaporating here, guys. So you just had a 60-cent spread on me, and I was looking at that 1550 level to defend. It's 928. I would have loved this one off the open. It looks like it might be another bullish run on CIIC. It's 1550 that I'll be looking to defend, even though it had consolidation at 1580 here.
All right, I was getting my orders ready here for Sonos to take off here. We'll see what that's going to do right off the open. I do like it, but look at the NASDAQ, man. The NASDAQ's fading down. We only have about an hour and a half. We only have about a minute and a half left to go here, and NASDAQ pulling back. So I'm not sure about Sonos, but I do still like this 2050, and we're going to go on that one for sure. Brendan, are you at the big screen? Yes, you are. Let's go over some more names.
Yeah, one little one real quick, guys. HUSN, big gap to the upside. Look at this already breaking downside here. Very hard to get locates apparently on this one today. It's a Chinese financial company, 320 up here, a great level from the aftermarket yesterday. There's no real significant catalyst with this one, but HUSN, like it underneath 320 already breaking down. But yeah, hard to get locates on that one, guys.
Another one in small cap space, it is on our watch list. There's also Phoenix New Media, FENG. You're going to see that I actually have this one on. It's a bit of a retracement play. I have added, and I'm not going to add any more shares to the short side because a bit of a bid got picked up here at 235. It needs to break that to get some profitability. I'm short at 240, giving this to about 255 or so towards that pre-market high at 262. There is a level much higher than this, a big one at 360. If it breaks out to the upside, that's where I would expect a turnaround. It looks like Joy right back below that 85 mark, so looking at 84 right now. It is Thursday, time to drop that bell, ready to rock and roll. Tesla still off that 500 level, down at 492. There was a test in the afternoon, but 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's ring that bell, Valeria.
All right, we're going to be watching a few things here. Nick let it go, Sonos to go as well. Palantir is going to open up very, very soon. We have NVIDIA. What did I write down? 545 high side. I don't even remember what I did low side here. I did want to talk about NEO quickly as well. NEO, I actually like this high break. We're going to have to wait for it, but 46.70, guys, on the high break. There we are. We are into Sonos pretty big here, guys, so let's try to get some out. Long right now at 51 on Sonos. Long on Palantir right now. Both in the money. Let's go.
Yeah, and I only wanted to short on Palantir. For rejected, it did not. It went to the upside. Watch out for YY. I got into the long in the Palantir. That's why I'm on this one. But just having a quick look at our good friend YY, it is screaming to the upside. If it fails at 88, I'm rolling into a quick little short off that pre-market high.
Guys, we are just monstrous again already today, guys. Get everything ready. My wife, get the champagne ready. Let's go. $20.50. Nice little trade here on Sonos. Breaking to the upside. Bang! We're doing it again, guys. Punching these in the face. Welcome to Trader TV Live. I'm here every day. Palantir, we did get a lot out on that move. We do wait for that. I told you there was some high side there near 19. So let's just keep on getting out, man. We are long right now, Palantir 1870, and we are hella long. Sonos, give it to me, baby. Boom! What a big day it is already here. Let's go with the bangers. We start early on this show.
88 about to break, and I took one shot here on Joy right in front of it. I also have that Palantir. I still like the short if it's going to come back, but it has to be below that 1865 price. There's a bit of a battle waging in a big-time seller on the level 2 at 88. This is an iceberg order right now, so once it breaks, again, I'm out of it. I'm going to look for a long breakout trade. That was a serious buyer on Joy here, and it might be trying to fill the gap in just a little bit, so I'm going to use that action to see if I can work back into this 90 to 92 level. I mean, it's already been the money about 50 cents or so. You just can't stand in the way of something like that if you're going to short sell. And we're about $1 in the money here. Got to take some profit off. If it gets to 90, 92, that's the ultimate target. But a quick reversal here in Joy as the jailbreak might be on.
Okay, yeah, Palantir. Again, look at some of these outs, man. 1880. This is why you get in and out like a light on this stock, guys. Good trade there. Sonos as well, very light on this one now. I still think it can hold. We're going to wait for a 20 bottom, but we just snapped in and out. You guys saw those backflips, guys. Let's keep the party going. What up, Brent?
CIIC, guys, this Align SPAC just ripped $1.50 there right off the open. Big volume spike as well. Now 30%, 15% right off the open there, guys.
All right.
And continuously going here. Here comes Joy. We're about a couple of bucks in the money. Now, there is this level up here, 92, 93, that I just talked about. If it rolls over anywhere close to that, I'm going to get out. I am still looking overall to have played the short side trade. But if it cannot hold these levels, I'm not going to roll into the short. The next ones up are going to be 92 to 93. I am now going to trail this one back into that pre-market high at 88 just to make sure we don't turn this winning trade into a loser, guys. You never want to do that. FANG is bracing itself towards that upside, so do watch out. Can't let that take out the top. It's had a bit of a bid.
Okay, I'm just going to cancel these Sonos orders. I think we can go hell of a lot higher here on Sonos. So we're going to wait on that one. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so Sonos and Palantir, the only ones we have. But look at the NASDAQ, though, getting hit right now. What's up with that? We may want to get out of some of these as the NASDAQ is falling here pretty rapidly. So let's watch out. We might see, here it comes. We're going to get out. This is why we get out off the early open here. When this happens, man, this is why I'm a scalper, disciplined. You guys know my style. That's why I hit the keys like a maniac off the open there and get out. But look at this, NASDAQ now falling. Wonder what's up with that. We'll wait to see, man. Maybe no stimulus talks. We already know about that. NASDAQ trying to bounce though, guys.
NVIDIA did make a not really that much of a jailbreak, but it did try to break back to the upside. Couldn't get through that 535. Now it's coming back in. So with the market coming down, I was looking to fade on NVIDIA. I'm going to have to play it off of a break of the bottom instead of trying to catch a failure at the top. That was already come and gone. We'll try to do this one, line it up and knock them dead. spread. Fang starts breaking to the downside, and we just quickly got that one in on the retracement trade. I talked about not adding off the open. Obviously, that was incorrect. Now bracing himself down towards this $2 mark. That's where my first target is going to be. I'll probably have only about 20% left in the event that it breaks $2, even though it was a 150 close yesterday's action. I'm short here at 240.
What happened to that YY trade? I'm not into that one.
I actually put a stop in the trailing stop to get out just below break even on this long trade. So it was fantastic. It did this move up to upside, and I actually tried to get out, couldn't even do it, and then got instantly trailed out as it just broke that 88. It's very, very whippy. The spread opens up on you. I think that's part of the culprit for getting wicked out here. So I'd love to see it settle down, but I'm seeing like 30-cent spreads turn into 80 cents. Very, very quickly here. Brendan, what's up?
I noticed this one was active in the pre-market. Another one in the EV space, Candy, guys, up 11% here. You can see very actively traded in the pre-market, but rejected 13 there for the second time. Coming back down. No real headlines on this one, but another one moving today, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna go 44.60 short here on NEO if we can get it. Big move to the downside. I did talk about liking the high of 46.60 yesterday, but some negative movements here. It's only down 0.58. I mean, this is nothing. We're gonna take a short if it does break through the bottom here on NEO. But guys, Sonos just continues to make some crazy moves here. $21. We'll see if it can go now back to the high of the day. We are hella long on this one and cashing in. Needless to say on that. So we're going to wait for NEO to the bottom here. Sorry, that's Sonos again. There's NEO. So bouncing around. I'm going to give a little bit of room. I'm not in this, but I do like the short here on NEO if it does break. To find some longs, though, 45.30, I think could be a long once we get through, or maybe a little bit higher than that. 45.40 for a long on NEO if we can get that as well, guys.
Yeah, and just going to come back to the Candy Eye was actually on my list, and I'm a little bit frustrated that I didn't have this one. I was looking for a break. I had 13.40 as a bit of a break. I know 13, a failed break here. I'm not going to look at that. I'm still looking for the top end of Candy Eye to break 13.40 pre-market high. Brendan, what's up?
Another earnings name, Nuance Communications here, NUAN, 17%. This thing just went from $37 to $40 in a straight line there. Earnings aftermarket yesterday, guys, were better than expected.
Okay, we just took some Palantir. We got longer at the bottom there. You can see we playing off some of this support there, and then we just got some out. So Palantir now back to the upside. A nice little buy at the bottom there. We will get out if it does break through 18.20 or so. But what a nice little bottom pick there on PLTR. I think we should get out of some more shares. There we go. We get out again. So yeah, Palantir, man, in there, out like a light, out a little bit here on some of these VWAP breaks, hold a little bit, and then average into the bottom side. That's a good-looking trade. And there goes Sonos, guys. Again, hot dogs for everybody today. I know you like those, Lori. Let's go.
L Brands continuing its retracement trade, I should say, off of this 12, 13% break to the upside. We talked about shorting this one off of 39. I missed the break because it happened pre-market, but it looks like it wants to try to hold lower, so I can always fade into it now that volume has stepped in. It's done a couple of million shares already. 39 is the level that I like. I'm going to short off of this here and just catch it anywhere for an average price of 38.50. So I'll first start taking shares in the 30s if I can get them, and then 50s and 70s are all I want in terms of a short trade. Fang continues to work to the downside. Maybe a good thing that I got out of Joy, it is coming right back in and testing this 88 level. So that's where I got the break to the upside. That's exactly where it's consolidating. So I feel like it's going to be a very binary option here. If we hold below this and I can get 87 to 87.50 for a short trade and then maybe catch a break back up at like 89, that's the play I'll make. Right here at 88, no need to make a bet when it's just trying to figure itself out.
Guys, I hope someone had that. I saw someone on the chat say, wow, that 45.30 break. Yeah, I was talking about it and didn't get a chance to get in. But 45.30 break all the way up 50 cents. You're welcome if you did get that. If you're faster than me, congratulations on taking that trade. Palantir still very, very positive. We've gotten out of some more here off this bottom break. So now we'll wait to see our average price now, 54s. So we've taken a couple cuts there. We'll wait to see if it can go back to the high side. Sonos, though, man, great outs. 25 there was one of our outs. So that was a good one. Another 75-cent win on Sonos, guys. So things popping today.
Yeah, and approaching that 87 mark, so I will likely be getting into a short trade in YY, Joy, whatever you want to call it, whatever you're comfortable with. But it hasn't happened just yet. I did get some shares in L Brands just now. I'm still looking for a quick reversal in Palantir myself. it does look like it's still holding the middle of the range. I think that's sort of the problem. You wanted a clean break of the pre-market low, which didn't happen. There was a bit of a breakout trade for me that I got some in for a winner, and then the rest out I basically got throwing back that win. Just got into Joy here at 86.90, so that one's headed back southbound. But I'll take some Palantir, but only off of that previous 1865 level. Not using high of day. I'm going to use that as my key. Brendan, sorry.
Metagus, guys, MDGS, one we've traded actually recently on the show. This is a little tiny Israeli-based medical equipment maker. MDGS is the ticker. They announced this morning, I'll open this up even so I can let you guys see this if it'll load. Anyways, they're getting into the EV space. Medical equipment maker making commercialized electric vehicles. So big pop, 42% for MDGS, guys.
All right, and we're into NEO now, 90s. So there it is. It's breaking to the high side here. NEO, we've been in and we're just getting it out a little bit. We see some problems here at 46. Our best out, 46 even there. So now we have half of that position left. But I'm still trying to hold it for some high side. I don't want to give this too much room just because of how crazy this stock is, but I will give it all the way back here, 45.39 there for NEO. Palantir comes all the way back to the downside, so we get out. So we take a hit on that last entry spot, but Palantir today, not really any kind of a worry spot for me. It was a good trade here off the open, so glad you guys had that. Sonos, still ripping, man. That's 70 cents in the money now. I still think we can go a lot higher. We're going to put an order upside here near 50. If that happens again, we will take some out on Sonos. And we're watching this NEO breaking, hopefully through $46, guys.
Yeah, and here comes, below that pre-market level is Palantir, so I did get into that little short position. It's going to be about 18.17 is my average price, but here comes Joy. It's about $1 in the money, but just a little bit more than that. But I go by the offer, not the bid, which is like a 30-cent difference. I'm going to take some out around this 85.50 area, just try and catch like $1.50, somewhere in that range, before we test that low at 83. I mean, this caught a bid at 70. Obviously, there was some buying that stepped in here, and we've seen this in the past where if it settles back in, the gap could get filled to the upside. That's why I was willing to take that break. So taking some profit off makes sense. You know what? Why am I looking a gift horse in the mouth? Let me just take the $1 for half this trade, and then I can work the rest down to this 83 to 84 level, and if I can catch 250 that way, it makes a heck of a lot more sense. Brennan, what's up?
Monster mover yesterday, this F-cell just popping back up on a volume scanner here through 550. Big volume spike went off there. 9% again today, if you remember. We got to 52-week highs yesterday for this one, just coming back to life a little bit here. Wasn't doing much in the pre-market, but through 550, F-cell, guys, doing volume.
Yo, what up, Neo? There we go, guys. From Brendan, and take one of Neo's lines into monster winners there today, guys. Look at Neo. Once again, we did it again on this stock, man. Bang for you there as well. Look at this. We called this 45.90, taking out the top. I actually called the long down here at 45.30, but missed it. So there you go. But there it is, guys. A big time trade on Neo. Ding, 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 ding. All the way upside. Still got some on board on that one. Oh, yeah. And what did we just say about Sonos? Ripping to new highs right now. $1 in the money on Sonos. So today we spin more of this, guys. If you're following this guy's trades, then once again, you should be up. And hopefully you're making a little bit of money today on some of these plays. Look at NASDAQ now heading. Why is my NASDAQ not showing over there? It is. Oh, I got to move this over a bit maybe. NASDAQ, I'm going to adjust this chart. NASDAQ now back to the high side, and your boy is hella long on everything. $1 in the money on Sonos. 55 cents in the money on Neo. This is just Neo. What another big day, my friend.
And speaking of big days, there's a big buyer here in my way on Joy, and I keep wanting to say why, but Iceberg again. There's all kinds of Iceberg orders, and this is a refresher at 85. So I am in the money almost a couple of dollars here. I'm going to hold off and taking out. Usually I would take some profit in front of it, because I've already taken that buck. I'm going to hold, because I think if we break that level, I think we're going to get right down towards this 83. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is cancel my target for 250 winner, and then if it breaks 85, I think I'm getting out somewhere around 83.50 and getting an even bigger win, which could happen rather soon. And if we bounce off this level, I'm willing to give it back to break even. I'll update you guys on Palantir, headed towards an 18 even bid, which is not small. So I'm going to get some out in front of it. Brendan, what's up?
Another one having quite the day here. COTY, the beauty supply maker. Nice look through $6 there. Took out the pre-market high. Citigroup with an upgrade on COTY today, guys.
Look at this market. Yeah, Cody. Okay, we'll get into Cody in a minute. The market's battling back. That's why I said, look at this market. Just a nice little couple moves upside, man. Neo, big win. Sonos, big win. We just took some out for $1 there on Sonos. And the thing is, guys, I don't know if you probably can't see this, but we'll try it again. Look at that. Look what Sonos has beside it. Double the stars, guys, beside that Sonos trade. So there you go. And then NEO 46.50. We like that, but we took that earlier. So there you go. Sonos got the double star action there, guys. 21.50. That's $1 in the money on that one. So hells to the yeah, NEO. We just keep going, bud.
And I just quickly tried to show you guys level 2, but I couldn't right away. There was a big buyer at 18 even on Palantir here. So when I rolled into the short, when the pre-market low broke, I got 22s. I got some at 14 for an average price of 17. It did break at 18. I took some out in front of it. On the back end, I got some out at 95. But when it screamed to the upside, I did take some more at 18.07 just to make sure I locked in profits. I'm going to go manual here. I want to see what happens at this 25 level, the previous pre-market low. If it blows through and maybe takes out 30s and I see any kind of a bit above, I'll just get out of the rest of this trade. But man, there was a buyer down at $18 on Palantir, and I wanted to make sure I locked some profits in. That's why we give you guys that look, or at least let you know what we're seeing on level 2.
Oh God, look what just happened to NEO, guys. It took off, so let's just get out. Like, we are monstrous in this NEO trade, guys. I mean, where was the call long? 45.90? That's $1 ago right here on NEO. We just keep putting these trades in and out and around, and boom, we're doing it again, guys. This just keeps on happening every day. Thank you for following the show. I hope you're making this money with us today. Once again, man, short Palantir, I don't know, but here goes NEO to the upside. We gave this call at 45.30, guys. This has a 46 handle on it. So there you go. We double starred this long up here. We just took that out, man. This has just been such a monstrous trade today. Brendan, I hope you're having fun like we are, bud.
Great move there. Yeah, absolutely. Canadian Solar, another one to look at, guys. CSIQ reported in the pre-market. Not good for this one. 39.5 down to $35 for Canadian Solar, guys.
Wowzers, a bit of a move for them. I got a little, it wasn't that I got greedy on L brands here, but it did roll over and give me a shot at a first price target down in front of that 38 level. I do have exactly the price that I want. I said I'd try to get a 38.50 average price. That's what we have on right now. If it rolls over from here, I'm not going to move anything too much. I'm going to take some profit in front of the low of the day. If we break 37.50, there's a lot of gap to still fill on L brands. It's 15%, so I want to make sure I hold at least a little bit of something in the event that that happens. Just to go back to Joy, I did talk about this one having a battle at that 85, and I was willing to give myself some room. Just say it's going to be a home run if it breaks that buyer. It did not. So I'm going to get out break even on that short trade. So we do take a buck, and then we have to get break even on the rest of it. This is a very volatile name here. You do have to watch out. The spread is all over the place. I'm going to get you guys back to the first position that I had on this morning. It oddly enough could end up being the best one. But because it's so structured and because it's not doing anything to threaten me here. It's only going to the downside. All I'm doing is taking profit on the way to $2. Just like I said, I need to get some bids now that it's falling even further. So this has obviously been a good one. Every now and then, your Superman trade is going to be what tends to be the one that caused you the least amount of concern. It does look like Fang is going to be that name today. All that said, we do have to go back over to Baidu because this was the other name we're going to talk about. I actually wanted to play this one to the long side, enjoy south side if it was going to break. Unfortunately, looks like that is not happening. So I'm not throwing away the idea of a 141 break on Baidu. It just doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon.
Okay, guys. Yeah, you want to talk about Superman. Sonos right here, guys. $20.50. Boom, 20, still going up. We'll tweet this one out, but we did also tweet out our NEO trade as well. This is $1 big time in the money. Okay, Nikola now, okay, yeah, that was that low 26 spot there. So NKLA comes down. I was like, why did we get filled there? But Nikola coming down to 26 and change. We were looking at that, what was it, 25.80 or something level yesterday on the break downside. Yeah, it was right here. Yeah, 25.85 or so. If that breaks, we're going to get out of that. What's up, Beep?
Another mover here, FUV. This is Akramoto, a three-wheeled electric vehicle maker. They signed a deal with the city of Orlando to test some of their vehicles as part of their city fleet. So FUV up about 20%.
Oh, man, here we go, guys. Here we go on Nikola. Let's see what we can do. We have some decent shares here, so we're scalping this out. Nikola going to the high side once again, guys. So here we go. A nice little pickup, 26.16, 26.17, and we're still running. Boom, we've got it again today. The money's spinning over here, guys. Nikola, big winner. Sonos, big winner now. Look at Sonos. Go, go, go. $21, $22, $1.50 in the money. This stock is ripping. Also, Nikola ripping to the high side as well today, guys. Wow, this has just been a fantastic little run for me here over the last couple days. Can't remember being negative, but here we go. Upside surprises. See ya, Nicola. Boom, we've got it over on this side, Neil. Let's go.
Remember in NVIDIA, guys, a failed break through 525. I'm going to still play the fade into this one. The market is still holding. And we talked about those overnight tops in the NASDAQ, at least ruined it anyways. If we're going to hold those levels, NVIDIA coming back in, and we talked about this one being a sell if it held below that 530. It is trying to roll over. I thought it might come back to 528, but if it retests this 525 level, I might have to get into it breaking 525, which would have been the plan the first time through. So here we go. Another retest of the bottom here on NVIDIA. I just kind of feel like if the market's going to go down, this one's going to sell off on that earnings report. Right now, Palantir, unless it's below 18, I'm not getting back into the short. I saw that buyer. I want to see it below that price, and then no one willing to buy it above it before I'm going to get back in.
Yeah, still have Sono. We're just going to tweet this one out. Was the call of the day there. Sonos right here at $20.50. That's the call of the day here. So there it is, guys. Big trade. Sonos. You guys love that one, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, Neo, we're holding on here. We're out of everything. We have small just to watch it. But Neo right now, not doing much. We'll see if it comes back to this 45.90 level. Let's give it to the big man.
Sean, you mentioned this one in the pre-market. Roku, wow, what a move as well. 6.5% straight higher after announcing in the pre-market that they're almost done a deal to get HBO Max on Roku devices, guys.
$90 coming in on Joy here. I tried to catch a break. I mean, I keep telling you guys the spread is a little bit crazy, so it's hard to get into position unless you're ultra aggressive with your order flow. If this one pulls back off of 90, I'm going to go back to this inflection point, back 87 to 87.50, and then look for a bit of a dip buy. NVIDIA is either breaking and holding an offer below 525, and I'll get in short. Otherwise, I'm waiting for a pullback closer to 528 to be able to short that name. But right now, it's back to Joy and looking at 87.50 to 88 on a pullback long. If it breaks 90, I'll take that momentum as a breakout, just simply because there's so much short interest here. You got to play for any kind of a squeeze or pop.
All right. Okay. We're just waiting for another coffee refill. I'm going to drink my other one. If you guys have ever heard of Yeti here, Yeti's a big, which camera do you guys want to go here? There it is, Yeti. Big one there. It's some nice flavored caramel coffee. Thank you. I love shopping at Starbucks, as Starbucks goes to all-time highs today and or yesterday, I believe it was. SB, not all-time highs, back to near $100. 52-week highs for sure. Look at this run that Starbucks had. I want to thank Valeria, my wife, for this. Starbucks all the way, man, 72 all the way up to 98. I went and got an Americano the other day. Pretty good, pretty good. 99.25 here, looking like a little break spot. We're not there yet, but I just want to talk about that Starbucks because we went off about Yeti there. Sono's still making moves to the high side. Nicola, this is why we hit this quick and quit it. We're waiting for 25.80 for Nicola, but man, this has been a big day. What up, B?
I was just going to mention, there was actually a headline on Starbucks there. They announced this morning they're going to increase wages for hourly employees by next month to $15 an hour minimum right across the board. So I did see that in the pre-market there if you were looking at Starbucks, guys.
So I'm taking a tight stop short here, and I talked about a couple of levels here on NVIDIA. 528 was going to be one of them, but I'm going to take the first shot as it tried to catch an offer below 525. I'll give it a couple of bucks back to the upside and need it to break the low of the day. So it's an idea where I want to hold it through to this 528 level. If it cannot break through that price, I like it on the rollover, but I'd have to hold that through the breakout of the bottom. Ideally, I would have been taking this short off of the 28 to 30 area, but it did make a bit of a base down there. And when I caught that offer, I took my shot at NVIDIA. This is one I wanted to play for the fade side trade, so I'm going to stick with this NVIDIA trade. Got to go back over in a quick second. I'll let you guys know about why, but if I get a dip to 87.50, I am taking it long. It's holding up well. I might have to pay up just a little bit. The spread on that stock forces you to be a little bit aggressive or more aggressive than you might want to be. So you might see me get into that one before 87.50, more like low 88s. I don't want to miss that move if it breaks 90.
Yeah, we just continue to be high side here on Sonos now. Yeah, what a big trade this has been, guys. $20.51. Look, there's some books there about make the one trade, the great trade, this and that. And I mean, look, this is the one trade. You don't need anything else today. I don't know why. And again, it's just my nature, man. We get into scalping and we've just been so on fire lately that it's just working. But I should have held more. I mean, it's easy to say you still have that 10% on, but this should have been a monster trade here off the open. We're going to do better for you on that one. Thank you, Ms. V. I like your picture today in all green. I know you do not. But we'll talk about. Actually, why don't we talk about that right now? Coming up, guys, at 11:45. There's the picture we're talking about. She's wondering. I mean, she's in green there, so it should be okay with the money.
I think it looks great.
There it is. Yeah. So Valeria right there, wondering, own not to trade. And Valeria, if you need to know own not to trade, talk to your boy right now, because we've been making some crazy Superman type calls lately, and especially on Palantir and on DraftKings. We didn't even go over to DraftKings yet. You guys should all be long with me at $35, $36, $37 on DraftKings, and you see where that's at right now. I'm going to take Palantir again through 1865. Before I throw to Brendan, just quickly, let's just check in on DraftKings. Did it break 50? Oh yeah, by the way, yesterday when this was at 47, I said 50s tomorrow. There it is. What up, Beep?
We were talking about Macy's, guys. Here's TJX as well. Just broke 62 there, made a day high on a volume spike. Still negative, but trying to get back into positive territory. We were up at 64.65 yesterday, so ways to go here for TJX.
Speaking of Macy's, it did test that $8 range and bounce to the upside. Now, I was looking at this area right here for a potential roll. And when I say roll, I mean roll over, head back southbound. So you're talking about like 880 to 9 even. It is screaming upside into this top, so you're not really seeing any kind of turn. It would have to go sideways, it would have to slow down and start coming down off this level without breaking 9 even. And then I'll jump into a quick short in Macy's. We're coming close to getting that pullback on Joy. So you're going to see me pop into a long position. There you go. Just got 87.65 on that little pullback. So yes, short sell report, fine, but it did catch a bid at 85 and is now broken back above VWAP. So watch out for the spread there. You might want to have stop orders and consider your prices very carefully. Here we go. Downside now in Macy's off that 9 even. I just got some shares in front of it. If 9 breaks, it's one of those very, very tight stops. I might only be risking like 10 cents or so, but it's one of those levels that you just got to take advantage of. 9 even. 8 even was a fantastic bounce play as well.
Okay, and yeah, just to give you guys a little bit of an update here on the crazy trade of the day, this Sonos right here, if it breaks back below 2180, we will be out of that one if that does break. So we're going to watch out for Sonos breaking a downside right now, 2180, but really, really happy that we're able to hold as much as we did into this name. Just should have held a little bit more on that name, as Bitcoin now making moves to 18,028, and we're on GBTC a little bit here with a couple longs down at 20 and then long again right now, but it's not. Tough trade. Nicola, 26 and change here, still making moves to the high side. Plug, Neo, let's check out on NVIDIA in a minute. I did like that 545.
I'm flushing NVIDIA. It just broke that 528, so patience should be a virtue. Now, I was looking at a 528 to 530 area, so if it rolls over here, I would dig another short trade in. You just got the turn. I just got the turn on Macy's, as I was mentioning to you guys. I don't know why I had that offer still in there. I did get my shares in at 92.5. So really tight to that 9 even, like I mentioned, risking about 10 cents. It did initially dip down to 880, so it did slide in the money for me. If it comes back in, watch out for this consolidation point here at 860 to 865. I expect there might be a little bit of a bounce there. That's why you're seeing me take profit off on Macy's. Obviously, $8 is a good level, but that's come and gone here. If 9 breaks and you like a jailbreak to the upside, could be worth it on some momentum. As I did mention, I am now back into the long side in Joy. So there was a long break that worked. I had to flat the rest of those shares. There was a short break that worked. I had to flat the second half. In this case, I'm now getting the long in front of VWAP on this bounce at 87. I am definitely every time going to be taking profit in front of the first resistance point. So you will see me get some out in front of 89. And I remember that 90 level. If 90 breaks, things could get very interesting. 93 was the next level up that we're watching on Joy.
Yeah, Joy, yeah, and yesterday that was the short seller report. We've obviously talked about that as well for you guys, so you know all about Joy there. And yesterday, I don't know, Neil continuing to trade that and doing well, so that's good for that one. Bitcoin's breaking through 18,000, so we're watching that. I don't know, did this come out yet? No, this will be out very, very soon, this Sonos. We're only going to give it back to down here. It looks like it keeps on bouncing through 2170, 2180 or so, so we'll watch out for that one on SONO, Sonos, with a big report, man, up 28%, and we caught a lot of it. We caught all of it. We have all of this move here so far today. It's been a good one, man. Yeah, there goes Sonos. Looks like it's going to crack. We do have some size there. We're still waiting for Palantir. It didn't do anything. We were waiting for it to take out that top side, but it does not again. We're still waiting for 1865.
Palantir has been in a disappointment because the top break was a mixed result, the bottom break was a mixed result, and now like I just can't touch it in here. Now, if it gets back below that 1825, I guess I would be putting back the short, putting the short back on, I should say, correctly, because that's just the nature of the game. I want to make sure I'm taking these. When it rejects a failed break upside, I want to make sure I get back in at the price that I like. I'm not going to be adding to this position on Joy, but if I do take some out here at 89 for like a dollar half win, maybe I'll consider a bounce in front of 87. I'm sort of resisting the temptation to have orders out at all times. I'd rather just see it move up into a price range for rejects, get out of this one manually. I want to be quick on my hands here, so I'm spending a lot of time on this level too. It is almost a dollar in the money. If it cracks up towards this 89 area and I see a reason to get out, which is any kind of a seller step in, I'm just going to get out half of this manually. It's already 10 o'clock. That means time to get to the big screen. Brendan's ready with Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock already. Let's have a look at North American markets here. A bit of a mixed story so far. S&P and the Dow still red, not much, but still red. Negative 0.08 there for the S&P, the Dow 0.12%. The NASDAQ leading things higher, 0.3% almost. For both the composite and the 100. The Russell back into positive territory. Here in Toronto, the TSX, just barely into positive territory. Same story with the BOVESPA down in Brazil. Let's have a look at a couple of things from the watch list. Still worth kind of monitoring here. NVIDIA right back to the middle of the range. So we tested higher, kind of tested lower. Trying to get back above that 530 was a little bit of a problem on the first try. So if it can hold 530, maybe it gets going back to the upside for NVIDIA. Following earnings, this one just made, L-Brands just made a 52-week high, but pulling back from that, I noticed right when I was coming up here, 52-week highs for LB. A little bit of a pullback here, though, but still very, very strong. We'll shift over one more time to Nikola. Yeah, big move up. This actually happened all the way up here to 2860. We're back to 2580, kind of consolidating at day lows for Nikola. Guys, back over to you.
So I'm going to do my best to try to get as active as I can, let you guys know what's going on in this Enjoy here. I did take some out. It did turn into a bit of a resistance at 89 even, so I took the dollar win, which it's like I'm scalping a buck and then trying to let the other half ride, and I'm not getting the bigger winner on the other half every single time. But it does feel like this one wants to fill the gap to the upside. You're seeing these higher lows get put in, and these lower highs are getting a little bit tighter. Let's keep in mind what the gap is that we're talking about here. If it breaks through this 90 area, it is this 92 to 93 that I expect us to get to, and then we'll get the bigger win. So, shooting the shot here in Enjoy. Let's see if this one is the one that actually goes. Worthy of maybe an ad. If I see that seller at 90 again, might be worth scalping in and out for a quick dollar win off of like a 90 break, but I need to see that seller on the level too. Just make sure it's the same size there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point there. Yeah, you always got to double check, make sure that what you're seeing is what's there. Yeah, Bitcoin breaks through 18,000 there. Pretty crazy. We've just been trading that one a little bit to the high side now, but yeah, we're caught a little bit long now at the top, so we're gonna watch out for that one. Nikola, good call there. We were already long Nikola, guys, here, and we got out of the majority, held our last 10%, and took a little bit of a cut there on that last 10%, but still all good for Nikola today. The only negative stock we actually have is the biggest and baddest stock that I've been trading lately, and that is Palantir. We are slightly negative on it because we went long there, and then we tried that retrace and then got some out at that very bottom once again. So slightly negative on Palantir, but looking to make moves once again, maybe even past this 45 looks to be a good spot there. What is that? Yeah, 1845 on Palantir. I think we can probably go, but again, I don't want to just look at Palantir just because of how successful it's been. NEO, guys, again, I mean, you can see these levels, but there's NEO. There's two that have the crazy stars beside them. One is NEO at the bottom there, 46.50. You can hopefully see that. Look where NEO's at now, 47.50. And then Sonos, 20.75, 20.50 we took. So look at those calls right there, guys. Bang to the, look at this NEO. Bang, bang, all the way to the upside. Your boy's just been crushing it, and we're not going to stop.
I feel like Tesla 500 has been at least a little bit, tiny bit neglected here. I took a shot at this one in the afternoon yesterday, and it was actually 95 where it failed, and was able to get like $4 or $5, but it was just a smaller trade because 500 is a bigger level. 1, 2, now 3 times, 4 including the pre-market. It's made a run here, getting to 499.50. But the reason I talk about yesterday's action, this same rollover at 94.95 that I was looking at gave you a nice trade into that 88 to 91 range, and the same thing could be happening here again. Now, the market's trying to get back positive. I mean, it's basically been down 0.1, up 0.1 all morning long. And if we're going to head southbound, I feel like Tesla below this 495 does give you to that 490 range. That's not a trade I would give $5 toward the high. If you're shorting in front of 500, try to get 98s or 99s. That's just my word of advice. Macy's brushed back up to that 9 even area, now back safely in the money for me to the short side trade. So I don't have anything on that's currently losing. Of course, I took my shot and missed on NVIDIA. Probably maybe got in a bit too early. I'll review that a little bit later. I liked another price level a little bit better than that. But Tesla on the radar now. If we can hold below 495, I'm going to take my shot shorting it and trying to get down towards that 88 to 91 area.
Okay, and yeah, we've been taking shots today and getting them all pretty much. The only problem with NEO, of course, was that we're not in it still. So that was a good call on the upside of NEO. So that was what that was. But we wishing we still had more shares, but we do not have anything on this name, as NEO just continues to be an amazing stock, and we continue to crush that every single day. I keep saying that I have a new favorite stock every day, but NEO might as well just be it. We just keep on crushing this. What up?
Another one to look at here, guys, GoPro. One we don't really look at a lot on the show, but they announced an offering aftermarket yesterday. Big plunge down to 750 all the way to 7. So just popped up on the upside on a volume spike at 7 here. So trying to hold $7, which is a decent level on the daily chart as well for GoPro, guys.
I haven't looked at GoPro in a very long time, but we are looking at Macy's here, so we'll go with confetti because that's the first thing that came to mind. It's been a while since I've done this type of scalp trade where you just look at an even dollar level. I also had a target area for rollover around 880 anyways, so you take some shares in front of that 9. It's a bit of size. It's not gigantic, but I just got some shares out, and you talk about like 5, 10, 15 as types of winners. Now, this is not gigantic size. It's only like 30, 40,000 shares at the most on individual gateways at 9 even, and less now that I look at it a second time. So anticipate that Macy's might actually be able to break through this, and it wouldn't be that difficult. The reason why you take some profit out is so that when this level does break, if you've taken no profit, you're all lost. I take advantage of the fact that there will be a runaway from that number, and then I'll make some profitability. That way you're losing less or nothing in the event that 9 even does go. We're pulling back on Joy here, but it's only at 88.70, so it's still in the money $1, but it could not break through that 90 area. That is a big level on Joy. If it goes, it's probably worthy of its own trade. Brendan?
Another one that's strong today after earnings, guys. Billy, B-I-L-I on the NASDAQ reported, I think it was actually pre-market here. If you remember, this one was down significantly yesterday, 47.5, so they sold it into earnings. But earnings were kind of in line with expectations, but it was a Q4 forecast that was much better than expected for B-I-L-I. Guys.
Billy, okay, what is that high there? 258 on BABA. Yeah, we can probably hit some of that. Hold on a second, go over to BABA. Sonos, I just want to talk about that. That was a good out, man. 2180, saved ourselves a little bit, but it's now back down to VWAP, so you can go long if you like Sonos. The damage is already done, man. We hit our goal a hell of a long time ago, so we're just chilling out right now, but we will still continue to trade, and I think that's very important that you guys understand that. You know, I take big shares, and when I hit the days, I hit them, and that's why when we go crazy off the open, man, that's what we do. And I'm not going to then put in, you know, more risk into the trades now than we need to, unless we find something that we like. And I'm going to, so we will find that. So just get ready for what I do. If I take small shares, I'll tell you about that. I know that's something that you guys always want to know. You know, where are the big shares coming? I've already told you guys about these levels, so you already know some of these ones on the board there. So that's my, you know, I should maybe brand this gangster sticky notes there, and we'll get that going. But okay, Palantir coming back to the downside now. I just want to give you this level again, 1843, just above VWAP. I don't like that one. I would much rather wait for 60. So we're going to wait for 1860 to go. Palantir could also eventually go short. I mean, we've shorted this name before. We're not against doing that. It's just I believe it's such a strong name. We're long since $9. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, remember yesterday when DraftKings was at 47 and I said we'll see 50 tomorrow? Hey, do you see this? What does that say? That says 50, right, Brendan?
On the nose, in fact. Yeah, look at that, DraftKings. GDRX, this one's been a mover the past couple of days following the Amazon announcement. I believe it was Monday. Amazon said they're going to start an online pharmacy. So this thing got absolutely crushed, but bouncing today, big time, almost 9% here on volume. So that's the key there. Big time relative volume for GDRX.
I love when people on the chat see that, you know, called it 50. It's nice to get some credit around here. There it is, Dan. Thank you so much, Dan, as well. Thank you so much for rolling records as well, guys. And look, I know Christopher Holcomb up here said that he was long. I forget where it was. Thank you, guys. Spin the money. Yeah, okay, I'll do that for you eventually. But yeah, I just want to give you guys a big shout out to all the viewers, man. And look, it's something to make calls, but you actually have to put real capital into this and get in and get out. So I've been telling you, I've been selling some Palantir. I've been long DraftKings. Thank you, Christopher, for bringing that up. $39. You're long when we were talking about it. And then now it's up to 50, and this is just in a couple weeks. You could see this DraftKings move, man. You know, this is what we're talking about. I was buying all the way down in here, average price, something like 35 and change, which is amazing because I just managed to pick this bottom, luckily. And now you're up to 50. We just broke through the 50 period. That's why, or 50 period on the daily chart. This is where I dropped some of my shares yesterday, but I'm hella happy to see what we're doing now. $50 back on DraftKings. And like this stock goes back to all-time highs shortly because you know what? When the virus is eventually gone, which, you know, probably give it 12 months. Then we'll see DraftKings and all the sports just ripping upside, guys. So definitely like this play as well. We are long into BOBA. That's one call that we made on Monday or Tuesday. That right now is 262. It ripped all the way to 270 on us before coming back down. So we're out of the money, a couple bucks on Alibaba.
Another reload here at VWAP on Joy. So trying to stay active to the long side. As long as it wants to hold the top end of this range, it does feel like the gap could fill in a big way through 90, of course. Always going to be taking profit out when I see this resistance up around that 89 area. But this spread is just, you know, it's now past 10 o'clock and you would expect things to tighten up, but I'm still, you know, constantly staring at 20, 30 cent spread. So you have to be very, very careful when you're looking at any of these stop orders that you're going to be putting in here. I'm trying to be as manual as possible so I don't get some bad fills. But if it breaks up towards 89, I'll take $1 profit again. Macy's breaks 9 even. This is why I took some profits in. Now we talked about this level as well, so reversed into a long trade into Macy's. It got to 950 in the pre-market, so if it gets back up there again, I would be all out. But this is more of a breakout style trade in Macy's as opposed to working into something deeper.
Okay, guys, here goes Tesla breaking through 502. We did take that high break, and it goes all the way to 504. So we did stare $2 in the money there. Look, I'm willing to hold this one. I'm going to give it back to 497, which is right down here. We're going to be willing to hold this. We're already pretty huge today. So this is just icing on the cake as Tesla going to the upside right now. I don't really have any upside targets. This is all-time highs. And boy, Lucas, Rob, we talked about this Tesla going. You spin the wheel and you win on TSLA. And man, are we winning right now as well. I'll probably get out of a little bit right now. This is a $3 winner going to the upside long 502. 505 looks pretty juicy to me. Let's just see what happens at 505. If it breaks through, there it goes, 505 through like butter, but then coming right back, 504.90. You guys all saw, yesterday I was talking about Tesla. I put it on the board on Twitter. You can see I was talking about 470 yesterday on Tesla there. So nice little move upside here today on Tesla. Let's go.
And just got some out. We talked about taking the dollar win. This is why you do it. Again, resistance at 89 on Joy. I'll keep scalping dollars every single chance I get. I've done it like four times now. I am still looking to hold this for a bigger move. So at some point, if we take out this 90 area, I did say, and I will go ahead and take a breakout long trade just because that size was still there last time I saw it. So it's worth a look. But I'm going to hang on to these shares through 90 even. So this will be adding at 90. As long as we stay above VWAP, we'll stay in this long trade. I did get some out here, and we'll go with, I don't know what this one looks like. It doesn't show up right on my board. There you go. Flying cash. We're going to make some of this back on Macy's here because the long reversal does work out. I'm starting to get some out in the teens. I just mentioned a second ago, if it gets towards this pre-market high, I will definitely be all flat in front of 950, the pre-market high, actually 945. Check that. You can round up if you want, but I'll be all flat before it gets to there. So looking for 10, then 15, 25, all the way up. I'll be getting shares out of this Macy's position. And just to go back over to what's going to be my worst, well, day's not over. What is my worst stock of the day? I said I would review this. I was initially looking at this 28 to 30 area. Now it consolidates here and starts to roll over. I decide to short the bottom end of the break and take a hit. Worth noting, if I stick to my guns and just patient and say, wait for the move, let it come to you, this would have worked out, or at least been a better structured trade anyways. It's 10-10 already. Let's go to Brendan. We got some upgrades and downgrades.
All right, yeah, busy morning. Let's get you a few more symbols to have a look at this morning. Upgrades on this side, downgrades on that side. This one interesting. I'll show you that in a second. Shopify. This is not Zoom. This is Zoom Info. Up 6.76%. We'll have a look at that as well. Marriott and FISV. On the upgrade side, CeneMark, one of the theater operators, downside again today, along with AMC. We have Fuel Cell and Robert Half. Going to talk about Fuel Cell. This one's been 2 or 3 days to the upside on significant volume. So Shopify first, though. We'll talk about Shopify gapping up on the upgrade through to 960. Having a little problem with 960. Big time relative volume, though, again today for Shopify. Almost $1,000 stock, but doing all kinds of volume. Look at this move for FCell yesterday. A lot of you guys were talking about it in the chat. No real significant news on this one. Yes, it's a clean energy name. Huge relative volume yesterday. Again today, back to 52-week highs for FCell. Back over to Neil.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. Just going back over to my good friend, or at least it's trying to be my friend, and I'm not going to go too far away from Joy today. Now, Baidu, of course, was going to be a play as well. You are seeing some consolidation, but it is higher. If it holds 88 here, and if we get any kind of a bounce off of this 88, I'm going to go and stick with the plan, which is not to take off shares in front of 90, to add to a position on a 90 break, and then work this one to 92, 93 like we talked about in the pre-market. Now, if we break downside and make a really tight test of VWAP here, in that case, if we bounce one more time, I will then take these off in front of 90, just to give you an update on how I'm viewing the risk of that trade. Speaking of updates, I should get back to this one. Now, I took off most of this FANG trade. I talked about this all the way down here. So apologies for ignoring it on the way back up. I've had my stop at 250 the whole way, short here at 243. So it's never really troubled me too much. All that said, it has broken above VWAP. There is a shot for a reload, I do think. So if it does roll over, right here at 235 to 240, I'll jump back in below VWAP for a few shares and then maintain that same 250 stop. It is worth noting my last target was down in front of 2 even, and it didn't quite get there 10 cents shy. So I still hope that we can get that price, but it's got to work its way down below VWAP before I'll get any more shares, at least to the south side on FENG. As I said here, YY, it just broke that 88 level. So the new trade is going to be on here. Just a bit of an update. I will no longer, and again, I'm going to get out if it breaks 87, but I'll no longer be holding this through 90. If it does bounce here, I'll get out of these shares no matter what in front of 90, and that's going to be a break on its own no matter what, guys. So as I said with stop orders here, I don't know why I'm using the stops and not just doing it manually. Just got out manually myself there at 87. I would caution, like I said all morning long, using stops has been a very, very tricky proposition on Joy, just given the liquidity that is, or I should say, isn't there most times. As far as Macy's goes, I did just get it breaking back down towards 9 even. Normally I'd be considering a dip buy on this to see if you can continue the breakout trade, but I'd actually look to see if that's more of like an 890-ish area as opposed to buying it here at 9 even once again. Brennan, what's up?
Just checking on all-time highs for Plug Power. 2552 it looks like, which would make that's not the right one. 2553 all-time high. So nice look here for Plug again today. 7.25%, or sorry, 6.25. No real headlines on this one, just in the EV space, obviously. Just made a day high there on a volume spike as well for Plug.
Plug Power making highs. Another test coming down at the bottom on Palantir. So I did let you guys know that I did try both short breaks and long breaks on Palantir. Rolling into short obviously would have worked out. If it breaks this 18 again, I will take a shot at this to the downside. I said it had to break this level for me to get involved, so I'm going to stick to that plan. It has just bounced a couple of times here on the minute chart. There isn't really anything significant when you talk about size at the level, so I'm not really too concerned about it chewing through. It should have no trouble like a knife through butter going through that level. I did get more shares, like I said, in FANG, so it got back below VWAP. But now looking at Palantir, the break has been ho-hum in either direction. I've managed to make some money on the first half and then just give it right back when it does break back to the upside or to the downside on that long break. But now I'm looking for 18 to hopefully sustain a move back on Palantir.
All right, yeah, my mic off, what I guess would be a bad thing. There it is, it's back on now, guys. We went and got our water, so what's up to everybody here? Hydration Nation is back in the building. The reason why we're long Tesla right now, $3 in the money. The very first tweet I sent out today, guys, was watch Tesla 502. The very first tweet, that was like 8:30, something like that. Check it out on my Twitter, at TraderTV Sean. And we're hella long right now. We went for a little bit of a walk just so we didn't get out of this. It goes up to 507 for us. Now we're going to find out where we're going to get out on the downside. Maybe a VWAP break. We're already out of part of the trade here for $2.50, which isn't that much. We do think that Tesla could go. And guys, by the way, like I've already tweeted this out as well. Congratulations to anybody that's listening to me more than I'm listening to myself, because look at NIO. $48. I told you that Citron report was garbage. All the way back to the upside, guys. 45 right there, 46 right there. Like, look at this long break off the open. 45.90. Tell your friends, tell everybody. But the one thing I want you to do is definitely, when you're spending all that money, you may want to hide your wife and hide your kids, because it's been a very, very profitable run for us here. And we just keep on going, man. Today, every stock is in the green except a small cut on Palantir. But I'm going to make that back. I am going to revenge trade this because I want to be positive on everything. Yesterday, we made 12 calls yesterday, and we were 11 for 12. Today's probably close to that, if not better. But we're going to wait on it. Sonos, what a great call. That was off the open. I mean, let's just review some of these calls. NIO, bang, bang. I mean, these are both longs to the upside. No losers there. NIO, my number one stock. Nikola, again, long there. Bang for the profits. Don't hold. We get out of our 10%. Profitable name on that one. Sonos, we've already talked about that one. And then Tesla, still $3 in the money. This will not be a loser for me, but there it is. So that's all the stocks I've traded today. Also, GBTC, and that's long, long, long. So there you go, guys. We just continue to run the gauntlet, and yeah, we're back, and we're not going anywhere.
Let's try not to forget about Boeing, and I feel like this was a bit of a missed opportunity. I had some levels written down, 203 break. Unfortunately, we didn't get to it, and sometimes if we don't get to it in our preparation, it means I'm going to miss it as well, but it's coming right back to this price level. Now, we talked about this, the news catalyst, last week. It already made two big moves from both 180 to 200, then from 200 to 225. So I like supporting this 200 area, and 203 is a level that I had pulled out here. So if we get any kind of consolidation, there was a nice brief pullback at 930 at that same price. I'm looking to get a bounce play off of 203 here in Boeing. Once it gets any kind of a turn, I want to catch it on the way back up. It's also time to get some small caps. I only have one today. I usually trade a few more of these, but let's go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, small cap time. I was talking about the first one here. I was just looking at this again, this Hudson Capital right before the open. If you joined us around 9:25, I mentioned this 320. This one has been tricky. Thankfully, there wasn't locates for this that we could get anyways. It did give you a little bit of a flush there down to 270 right at the open. You had to be really quick though, because look at this. It ripped all the way up to 335. We're kind of just chopping around at 3. So watch this kind of 3 to 320 area on this HUSN. If it does get above 320, very low float on that one, so it could start going to the upside. FENG doesn't get much easier than this. 250. Very, very obvious top in the pre-market. It did test it there right at the open. You could have added. Was not watching it, sadly, but 250 down to $2. So you're risking, 10, 12 cents to make 50. I'll take that every single time. I did get above VWAP there on that last push to the upside, so I got out of it flat on that one. MDGS, 24.5%. Let you know about this one just after the open. It immediately, this is the one that's a medical equipment maker getting into the EV space. Why not? It held below $3 there on that first initial pop to the downside. So 280, $3 added in front of 3. We're down to 250 on MDGS. Guys, back to you.
So did get into that Boeing position in front of that 203 area. A bit of a bid just showed up in our favor here at 204, a bit of 50,000 share order. That just stepped up right now. So someone also making a bet. Maybe they're short covering, of course, but it could also be a bit of a dip buy as well. So like I said, giving it just a little past that 203. If I have a price level on a stock like a Boeing, try to give it a few extra pennies past your level instead of just giving it that round number. If it gets up to VWAP, certainly I'll be taking some profit off for like $1.50 or so in front of 206. But for now, that's the long we have on. Just to get back to the short over here in FANG. I guess according to plan here, it's working out pretty nicely. I wait till it goes back below VWAP to take some more shares in here at 230. Initial shorts were all in the 240 to 250 range, or 245 range. Starting to come back down. I took some profit at 25, just got some at 20. So this one trying to punch through this level down here at 215. And once it does, we'll hit our target to the downside. I usually have pretty firm targets when it's this short retracement play. Nothing different here on FENG. And, Boeing, it might be in the money 50 cents or might take in the money $1, but I'm looking for just a little bit more before I take profits on that one. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Blink charging another day, another all-time high. Just reached for Blink above 16.80 there. So we're coming up to $17 in a hurry. I mean, this space is crazy. 14% again today, guys, for Blink.
Okay, for example, we just got out of Tesla, but I am seeing some kind of a report now, Model S no longer being recommended by Consumer Reports. I don't know if that's going to be anything. So we will go a little bit short, but there it is. Tesla is still a positive stock for us today, guys. Rips upside. We'll hold this next one till about 502 here, just to see what that report means. But we are now short on a 500 break back to the downside. It has a failed top there. 508 was the highest, so that was a good trade. But we now reverse to the short. 499, where am I short? 499.50 basically, back up to 500, only giving this to 502. Let's see if we can cash on this short.
Yeah, and I'm not shorting in this name just yet, but YY Joy here. I've been pretty active in this name, as you can obviously see, more so than I would be on a regular day in a stock that has this type of a profile. But someone mentioned, I missed it in the chat with your name, so apologies there, 85 level. There was a significant buyer there at 85, similar to what I saw at 90. So it is probably worth a little bit of a break style play. But what I will say is, you just look at this hard bottom at 83.50 and probably think about at least scalping some out here. This has been catching bids. You can't ignore that. That it seems to me like it's been catching bids, and it did gap back up after that huge flush on the report.
Higher.
And we're on the north side of this little level here at 85 on the daily chart. So if I was taking 85 to the short side, which I'm not, I would be scalping it into 83.50, and I think if that level breaks, it might be a little bit more of a well that runs deep to the downside. So for me, I'm not touching that 85 level, but yes, there was a big buyer just like there was a seller at 90.
All right, 503, 503.50 or so. We're going to give this a little bit more room. We just take another bit of a short there. As I did see that Consumer Reports story, but I don't think it's going to mean anything. It doesn't look like it. So we'll take one more shot. We're going to give this one a very, very small, like I said, just up to 502. It's more about Tesla breaking all-time highs right now as I just keep watching the stock here. I have my stop orders in, so if it does break 502, it's all good. Right now we are short 499.80 on this stock. So we're at $1 right now. No big deal. But if it does break 502, we'll scram out. But there it comes, going to go break right now. More about it breaking the all-time high. I wish I didn't see that report now, and maybe we wouldn't have got out of this trade. But here it comes. We still are going to go short Tesla. I just think we may have failed there at the all-time high, and if it takes another run to it, then we'll probably break it. But let's just wait to see what does happen here. We are short Tesla. We could basically take our first loser of the day here if this goes to 502 and breaks. We'll be out, and then we'll hold a little bit more for 503. But I assume if one breaks, so will the other. Back to Palantir, the biggest and best stock for me this month, and currently in the PA as well, the personal account. Okay, 1835. I still like this 1860. You guys may seem like that's crazy. I mean, I thought I was pretty crazy for calling NEO at the top here, 4660 when we were all the way down here at 44. Then we ripped to 48. So let's just wait to see. Here comes Tesla back now to the downside. The bottom here, VWAP is 498. I think we can get some trouble back here, 496 and change. So let's watch out, man. If NASDAQ ever falls down, I think we're going to have a pretty sweet winner here with Tesla.
A bit of a volume spike just happened in WWR here just a couple of seconds ago, breaking through the pre-market high. Now, you look at this name, and Brendan brought this to your attention a little bit earlier, so you should already have this on the radar, but it's made a couple of higher lows that it's sold off of, and so I'm looking at this $6 level just in case this move does sustain. But I love a profile like this, gap up, lower highs, and then a failed break to take a retracement. So if it goes back below this breakout, this 550, and can sustain any kind of an offer, I don't see it yet. I might jump into a short off of that high of day. But Brendan, some news?
Yeah, another one to look at here. Also in the EV space, this is PIC, another, yes, back. This is Pivotal Investment Corporation. They're talking about XL Fleet. So XL Fleet has a plug-in solution that'll go into many different current GM fleet products that will make it a plug-in hybrid, essentially. So PIC, 6.6%. They're looking very hard and deep for anything EV, guys.
Yeah, the EV space continues to run hot, including Nikola. We were long there, hella long at 26, and we got out like a maniac. And I don't really know why. I do know why, because if I would have held it all the way here, we would have lost. Remember, guys, Neil and I, we all, three of us, trade with many different share sizes and many different ideas. So when you see me go in and out like crazy here, I take too many shares to hold it all the way back to the upside. I have to get better at it. It's not, I mean, it's an excuse, but that's what I have to do better on. Just like this Sono, like we take this at 20.50, and then I just see the green and we take out the dollar before it goes another dollar as well. So you got to be a little bit careful on how you trade and how you watch, whether or not you watch myself or Neil or what we're doing. We do trade with drastically different share sizes, so you do have to remember that when you're in these names. And we don't know what you guys are trading. So again, trade your own book and just be very, very careful as you go. And you know, that's part of why we don't show share sizes, right? We just show the trades, and you guys can see at the bottom how we're doing on a per share PL. And so far, there goes Tesla, by the way, up through 502. So we try that 500 short there, 499.80, and it doesn't work. So look at the NASDAQ just ripping to highs right now. So there's a negative stock for you. There's Tesla.
Yes, I'm gonna get to Palantir in just a quick second, but I'm glued to this WWR. The thing about this trade as a rollover is I want it to be a failed break through that pre-market high, this 550 area. So it's just teetering right here. It's giving consolidation, but it's on sort of the higher end of that 550 price, which is that psychological level. And there are some bids down here, so it's kind of proving to be a bit of a tricky entry, but I don't want to miss out on this one if I do get a shot at it. Boeing broke that 203, so you know, I told myself, and I actually said this the other day, that if you miss the trade or you get a trade on a breakout price, if it gives you again and it sets up, take it the second time. But I should have also had it the first, and then I wouldn't be down on Boeing. But right now, my eyes are glued to WWR. If it breaks up from here and then takes out the top, I won't be shorting it until we get to that $6 price. But I am looking for an opportunity below this 550 just to catch a retrace back into this 530 level. And again, because it's good volume, lower price stock, you can take a few more shares if you do like on that one. Just to go right back over to Joy here. Yeah, it's still rounding to the downside. This is one of the reasons why I altered the plan not to get back into some shares into that VWAP price. I just took out what I did have. I've only been able to scalp. It is my best stock of the day, but I've only been able to scalp dollars out of it and not get extended moves. And of course, it's not really. It's just not sustaining any directional play yet. And I feel like once either, some people think 85, I'm looking at 83.50, or that 90 level goes, I really think that's going to be the bigger play. So I'm still going long through 90 even. I'm going to back off from this 83.50 short because I'm just not feeling it to the south side right now too heavily on this YY or Joy, however you want to call it. So I'm going to stay away from that in terms of the short trade, but I'm still willing to go long in it. Just to go back over to Boeing. It did break for me. Now, obviously, it still has a shot to go up from here, but it violated my stop level from jumping in front of a sword and catching it counter trend. I want to make sure I have it out. I also like 200. If it holds down there, I'll take another shot long and Boeing. I'm just not really shorting it today. Brendan, what's up?
On the CBAK Energy, I don't see anything. This is that lithium battery maker popping up again today. 20%, 19.5, 20%, just broke 18 there. Monster volume went off when it went through, 8, not 18. $8, big time volume spike there, but coming in a little bit to 775. So it's always kind of there hanging out in the background, doing volume again today. 13 million shares for CBAT, one to look at as well. Valeria is looking at what is going on over in Europe. About an hour left over there. What's up, V?
Hey Brandon, European shares are negative on the virus fears. Norwegian Air is down more than 16% after it filed for a bankruptcy protection. Back to you.
Yeah, a lot of the airlines, even in North America, under pressure again today. We were talking about some of the cruise lines as well with share offerings, Norwegian, CCL, also back to the downside today, guys.
All right, so we got a new position alert here. We're cooking up some winners again, and we'll do the cash cow because we're back on AMDZ right now, 82.82. We got the lucky numbers there. 8282 is our long spot. You can see that at the bottom. It's already this 8 cents in the money here for AMD. But again, thank you, Lori, for everything there. Your words were too kind. Where was it? Right here. Okay, I was going to show you on here. Thank you, Lori, so much. Love how you explain everything for you. So that's, I'm trying to do that. And someone else said it's not about the share size, it's about the process. And yeah, like, look. Here we go. 82.80, right? In like a maniac, and then now, in and then out right now like crazy. And we're just trying to scalp it out. Now I'm holding a little bit more than I usually do, but we're going to wait on this one now. We still have about I don't know, 40% of this trade left, 82, 82. Our best outs here, 87, 88, 89. And again, we have direct market access, right? And so we don't pay anything to get in and out of trades. It's commission free. Look how fast our software goes. So yeah, I consider myself obviously scalping. So that's what we're going to do, is just continue to scalp this through and just put winners on the board for you. So here we go. AMD again, guys. Nice little trade. Let's go push it forward. We are coming back down again, so we'll just zoom this back out. We can have a little bit of a longer time frame. AMD's stuck today, man. It's not doing anything. It goes up on that NASDAQ move right there. Other than that, it's pretty much a flat stock. So I am going to get out if this breaks back down below 82.62 here. That's sort of where this run started. So we'll get out a break back down below 82.60 or so. But then I'm going to try, guys, to hold this one for the moon. It's been such a successful day that we might as well hit the belly dance on that one. Hit the like and hit the subscribe, guys. We're here every day for you.
Absolutely. We're not going to go anywhere, except when the U.S. markets are closed. We can't do anything about that when that happens. Actually, next week, a bit of a holiday. So, a Thanksgiving big in the States, of course. I'm going to look at this Palantir chart, and I talked about this one. You look at this top end of the range, and it's like 17 on 15 minute here, 17.50, and then 19. So right smack dab in the middle of that price, it's like I've been long break in front of it. I've been short, able to get some, but it keeps rejecting the top and the bottom. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that theme because I think there might be an opportunity here, and I'm going to jump into some shares in front of VWAP. I still am leaning towards the short today on Palantir. I think I talked about that a little bit to you guys, so no need to go over that again, even though I've played both directions. But I got to make sure I'm scalping some out in front of this bottom. And if 17, the 60 or 50 area goes, that'll probably be its own little trade there. But I think maybe just getting a little bit more active, and instead of trying to hit 50-cent to dollar winners every single time on Palantir, it just might make more sense to scalp a little bit more than I was doing on each of those break trades. So a bit of a change in approach is going to happen in Palantir. As long as I'm trading it inside this range, I just have to change the way I'm doing it. So I'll try to pick up a position in front of that same 25 area that I was looking at on the breakdown, and then make sure I scalp a bunch out in front of 18 and then work it towards that low, instead of just trying to hold everything and just get trailed out every single time, changing the approach on Palantir because it's a little range bound today.
Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. Like, if it's not working for you, change it up, right? And I think that's what you got to do. And that's why I'm waiting for Palantir myself to do this. I mean, I was in and out, small cut on this today. It was not I was holding for a little bit more. I did think we could have got to 19 on this break, but that really should have been my only trade. Long, like we gave it to you off the open there, 1867 and out, and then it drops. So we do our patented play there on the drops. We take the long and then get that back out. But ultimately, it does break these levels down here, and we get out of Palantir for a small loss on that one. But this was almost perfect. I just wish I didn't have that mark and would have got them all out up here, and then we would have had a smoking day here on PLTR. But it just continues, man. Really loving this stock. Donkey Kong as well. And again, I'm not taking too many trades now. We're light on that AMD trade. It's coming back to the downside for us. You got to watch this 50 level. Again, I always talk about options, and I think it's very important that you understand that what goes through my head is multiple things. Some things you don't want to know, but on this one here, when options eligibility comes through, you're going to have some options pegged to $50 tomorrow, right? Weekly expirations here on DraftKings, as well as monthlies or whatever as we get to the end of November. So you're going to see some pin action on this 50. I do like it when it breaks higher here, 50 on Palantir. I definitely like that. I did want to, oh, there you go. Okay, you're welcome, Christopher Holcomb. Everything, nice shirt. Okay, thank you so much for that as well. Everybody loving the show today. They're loving the shirt. That's a couple comments on the shirt. I've worn the shirt lots of times before, but thank you so much for that. Brendan
also.
It is
a nice shirt.
Yeah, it is a good shirt. Thank you, Neil. Also has a nice shirt like this as well. Neil
Actually,
always looking
Sean, I got to
dapper.
call you out on this one because we joked about this yesterday. I mean, I love the casual look, and of course, sometimes we've seen the hoodie. Fantastic thumbnails with that hoodie, by the way, when you have it on. But tucking in the shirt the other day, Sean, and I think
I've been tucking it in for months, but we did see Raheem yesterday, who hadn't seen us
not every
for
day.
6 or 7 months. So thank you to Raheem for that one. Yeah, we're tucking it in. Look, man, sometimes you got to be a little more professional, and yeah, we're having fun on this show, and I'm doing it all, guys, for you here, and including tucking in the shirt. So thank you for that, and thank you to Raheem from OCI Group yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. Daryl, you are welcome again, guys. Daryl, one of the big supporters of the show. Best week, man. Hey, I'm with you. You've seen the numbers that I've been putting up this week. I'm glad you are as well, Daryl. What up, B?
There's so much opportunity. I mean, we were talking about this one as well. Billy, like, this is a 3-minute chart. There's no red candles. literally since, well, maybe a little bit, but $50 up to $56 now for Billy in a straight line after better than expected earnings, guys.
I just want to quickly go to the CBAT because a bit of a missed opportunity, but I want to let you guys know here. This little push to the upside, I mean, I'm looking at this 850 level. It just stands out as a previous support. Look at this break to the downside right at the open, cutting through that 850 like a knife, and then look at the turnaround at 850 here. Now, normally that's exactly what I would be looking for a short trade. You know, it is what it is, but I just want to make sure you guys see these things before they happen. I know a lot of people will be looking for breakouts at something like a 650 or a 7 even on a trade like that. And then this is the reason why you take that 20% profit in front of an 850 level, because something like that can happen to you on a CBAT. Now, it is consolidating lower here, so I'm now looking at 790, and if it wants to hold this, I would short it off of that 90 level on CBAT. It's just the only condition will be we have to pay for shorts on this name today, so if I think I can get something in the 770 to 760 range short, with about a 30 to 40 cent stop, and then I'm trying to get an average winner of like 50 to 60 pennies, I'm not going to be paying 30 or 40 cents a share. It's not going to be worth it. If it's less than 10, fair enough, but if it's more than that, I don't necessarily want it. So CBAT on my radar, even though I'm missing the 850, I do have a shot to take this off of a 790 short trade.
Guys, before we go to Sector Watch, man, we're flossing this off right now. AMD, we're back in. We get out, but we are not done with you yet. As AMD breaking to 79, we're back long 62s. It does take us out on that 50 break, but look what happens, man. NASDAQ ripping. We go right back in, and we turn that frown hella upside down. I just wanted to bring that to your attention before we throw it over to the big screen with Brendan. I'm going to join him so you guys can see the tuck shirt.
Better make sure mine is in the right spots as well. Yeah, come on. We'll tag we'll tag team Sector Watch. There we go. Yeah. I mean, mine's similar, but yeah, I think I wore that last week.
I think you did.
A very similar one.
So just to go over a couple things here.
Look at
I'll let you do it.
Look at L brands. I mean, it's L brands. Like this entire group is positive because of L brands here. So nice. I mean, the market's lower, 0.2%, but barely. Yeah, 13.5% for L brands. Etsy right there as well, 4.5%. Something called Pool is up 3.5%. Haven't looked at that one yet. Target and Lowe's also having nice days, 3.5%, 2.2%. TJX, we mentioned a little bit earlier, has gone negative once again, so 2% there. Win. NCLH, LVS, CCL, some of the travel names coming back to life a little bit today, back in positive territory. So consumer discretionaries as a whole in positive territory, but only just. Financials are lower on the day, leading, in fact, to the downside along with healthcare stocks, the utilities group, and real estate stocks, all very, very negative. So just want to mention Apache and Devon there. You can see two names in the energy group back into positive territory. There was news on both. There's overall, though, energy stocks are negative along with crude. 0.13% for the overall market. You can have a look at industrials as well. RHI there, an earnings name, and FLS as well in negative territory. Overall, kind of mixed, but the only thing kind of holding up the market right now is L brands, really, guys. Some of the consumer discretionary stocks. Back over to you.
I did want to say a big thank you again to everybody in the chat. Yeah, that's what we're doing, man. I'm trying to make the show a little different, a little more exciting. We've noticed that, it does get a little, long in the tooth. So there it is, a little bit more excitement for you. And I hope that was just fun. Brendan and I, of course, joked about it. And it's going to the upside there with AMD. And thank you, Brendan, for that. I could never, ever do what Brendan does. That's for damn sure, as he goes there. Brendan trading and doing those reviews. But thanks, guys. I think we all have the tucked in shirt today, to be honest with you. So enough about the shirts, unless we're going to get sponsored. There was that Tuck company, I think it was called. We'll find out if they.
Those guys are. There's a network that we're not going to talk about. They always have ads that Untucked.
Untucked.
And, yeah. What it is. I don't know. I mean, I got mine tucked in, but. I talked about this, and sometimes you have to change the way you're going about business. In Palantir, I talked about scalping a little bit more. So, I managed to get some out here on the way back down 15s and then in front of 10s. And then I got some orders layered down. So in case it makes another break to 18 even, I can still take a breakdown trade at 18, but I can make some profits as long as it wants to hold below VWAP. Just try to be a little bit more active in this name. I don't want to walk too far away from Joy here. Why? It is going back to the upside. Obviously, people are looking at 85. It doesn't even quite get there. I still like 90 for a breakout as long as that seller is there and holding up that level. I mean, it came back. I mean, it was a failed break through this price, And when it touched back through, I mean, this little wick here terminated at 90. It ran away from a big size seller. I was long both times. Well, I was long the second time when it came to this 90 and had to take profit. I didn't even get close to it this third time. So I still like that for a break. I did get into that CBAT trade to the short side, only giving that to 790. So it is getting close to 11 o'clock. I know it's only 15 cents worth of risk, but this is the time of day we start thinking about scalping some things a little bit more, with the exception of this 90 break. And I mean, if 90 goes on Joy, I'm not looking to take 50 pennies on that one. I think it's going to 92, 93, and we'll finally get the bigger win we've been hoping for all morning long. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
I know a little Chinese name just popping up on a volume scanner here. Just checking on this KE Holdings. Yeah, it is a micro cap. It's been relatively strong, though. If you look at the daily chart here, we're back to $61 for this KE Holdings with an offering this morning, in fact, in the pre-market. So it was right around the $60 area where they priced the offering. So we are above that again, but just popping up, you can see on volume here for BEKE.
All right, guys, we haven't had many chicken dinner winners. Well, I've had tons of chicken dinner winners today, but we're going to go back to AMD here on this trade. We're just bringing it back to positive. I mean, I'm not going to celebrate and sit here and act like this is going to big trade, because we did lose on some of this. We got in and out rapidly, but then it does make a big drop that we were not expecting. So we did get out of there, but I did just want to talk about getting back in and then out at that top again, 82.90. So we're very, very cautious of that level. So we do get out of there. And now we have 40% left of this trade. I said we're going to try to hold a little bit more for the high side. So if we can get back up here, then AMD will turn back into a positive trade. For right now, though, we are still a little negative on AMD, but really happy with this 23-cent win as it's going back to the high side. That very high was 93. Let's slip another order in here in the 90s if we can get it, as NASDAQ making the moves right now and the ES not far behind.
Yeah, and let's not forget about one of the levels we talked about in the pre-market here. Nicola, you're going to see pre-market highs of 27.40, and ignore this, 27.40 at the open. We'll go back to the daily chart because this is the look that we were using before. You look at this break through the open range, opening few months range to the downside, and 27.50 was recent support there, guys. So if we break through this level, it's an obvious breakout on multiple time frames, both pre-market, opening range, and then back here on the daily chart. So I'm going to like this one. We talked about it. We're going to make sure we take this one. Don't want to miss this trade here. And Nicola, I did reload on Palantir. Again, if I'm going to be scalping 5-10 cents, I'm only really giving each of these trades about 10 cents. So if it breaks above 35, I will get out of that short. One last Billy, guys. It did turn around here and finally consolidating lower. Now, I usually wait for this consolidation to go short because I want to see a real pullback, and it's about $1.50. So long story short here, I am going to go short on a break of this 54.75 level. Ideally, I can catch shares between 55 and 55.5. But if it's a breakdown, it's the only thing I can get. That's what I'm going to have to do here in Billy. First time I'm trading it today.
Okay, Palantir, I know Neil's short, but I'm going to look at a long here through 1850 maybe. It just breaks VWAP.
Well, not anymore, man. I'm out of VWAP here.
Oh, you're right. Okay, again, this is kind of a crazy stock. But that's why I'm waiting. Like, I don't like it when it does this. I know Neil was scalping it, which is fine. I mean, I agree with every style of trading. And we've already talked about this. Like, I don't need to keep going over it. Both of us will trade the same symbols, have different ideas and different methods of making money. At the end of the day, it's just what you look at. And if you're green, you're green. If you learn something, you learn something. Hopefully, if you're red, you did get a lesson somewhere about why, and you can try to correct that. But I'm still waiting for 1860. I wish I would have. I mean, I was listening to Neil, but looking at other things like AMD right now, 30 cents in the money. But I was waiting for Palantir to actually break something, and I wish I would have saw this down there at 35. That would have been for sure a small position. I would have not gone large on that, but you do see this is what I look for every single day. And again, thank you for watching today. That was really fun with what Brendan and I just did at the big screen. Brendan messaged me as well. He liked that. So 1835 right there. You get a little bit of consolidation and then a break. It could have been the other way. So like if you break through 18, it's the same move to the downside. Just because VWAP is high doesn't mean you can't take it low right there. But I'm going to wait for 1860 right now. Small position going to go on at 1850, and then we'll put on a little bit of a larger one at 1860 if that does come, and then use 1835 maybe as our out right now, guys.
Yeah, a bit of a keystroke error, and you'll see me take what is obviously too small of a win on the first third of my Billy. I accidentally punched out. And it's not that it's a losing trade, it's just that I got out before I wanted to there, Just a bit of a typo. It's going to happen to you. I'm not going to chase it. Normally you add back into it, but because the spread is opening up and it is down from where I was entering the trade on that 54 in the 55 area break. I'm not going to chase it too far here. I do think it has a shot to get back into VWAP. All that said, though, if it breaks back above 55, remember I liked it to this 55.50, so I'll go a tight stop and maybe only lose about 20 cents on this one, just because I want to be able to get back and test this 55.50 area. So lots of ways to play it. I'm in the Billy here. I'm only going to be adding if I've already had a muted small loss at 55. I'm going to be getting out of this one. To go back to Joy, guys. I mean, it's just very range bound. I expect this thing to be a heck of a lot more volatile than it has been. And the lack of volatility is puzzling to me because Baidu is actually holding the downside of its range. And, whoops, accidentally got into a long in Billy covering my trade. I've done this like so many times where I have 2 stops instead of 1. Or a stop already in, then I manually get out of the trade as well. So I'm going to have to pay some spread here on Billy just to get out. Not a big deal. But if it tests back up to 55.50, that's where I'd like to get into another short. It was sort of a muted move down there that terminated at 54.50 there. If YY does go any further to the downside, might have to think about picking up a long. It's way too stable not to try some more long trades on this one instead of just waiting for that 90 break, which might not happen yet.
Okay, so we're in now, Palantir breaking through 50. Like I said, missed opportunity right there, but we did take this in 50 out, some there 55s. Now we'll wait, 56 is coming. We are gonna wait for 57 to get a little bit more out, and then we'll get some out at 59 as well to end that trade. There's our 57. I mean, bang, we are just doing this today, guys. You wanna talk about scalping? I'm trading all different styles right now, guys. We're in, we're out, we're scalping Palantir. We're taking shares there at 50. We just take a 9-cent win on that one. So there it is, guys. More money coming through. And here's the breakthrough 60. So let's watch Palantir now and see what it wants to do through 60. High side 64 is coming. Hell yeah, we're just going to scalp this out again. Nice little trade here on Palantir. Long 50s, out 60s, out 64s there. Long again. Let's just keep rinsing and repeating. Remember, we don't have the market with us, so we have to scalp and be very careful here with Palantir. So here we go. Let's just wait to see. Can we retrace back to the high side up here? I don't know. Palantir looking pretty good. We're going to get out if it breaks back down through 50, though. Can't hold this one all the way back to VWAP. Forget that. Watch Palantir right here, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's go to foreign exchange land and see what is happening today. It's kind of muted, actually, as far as the currencies are concerned. There was a release in Australia overnight, an employment data release that came out worse than expected. So the Aussie under pressure here a little bit today, down about 0.4%, back to 72 3/4. So we're coming back in. This is a chart for the Aussie. We topped out around 73.5. We're coming back into 72.5. A lot of congestion in this area, though, so should be some support for the Australian dollar. The leader to the downside, New Zealand following suit, 0.25%. British pound's also lower. No real significant catalyst, but only a 0.25%, 32.3. Canadian dollar's flat. Euro's kind of flat as well. Crypto's, yeah, back to the upside. 18,110 now for Bitcoin. Ethereum 477, about 0.5%. Cryptos won't stop going higher. Back to you guys.
Can't stop and won't stop. Just like our Tesla upside there. Yeah, I see you, Daryl. I agree with that play on Palantir. It did fail at the top there. For sure it failed. Right where we got out there. It should have broke out. I mean, this is the way. And again, this is why you got to watch these stocks and really follow, like I've traded it so much here that, that's why, we get these wins. We get very specific on what we're looking for here on Palantir. And honestly, I believe in that trade there, Daryl, that you just made, shorting off that. I do like, let's take these executions off just a little bit here so I can show you what exactly I'm talking about. You see, you get a break right here of 1860, and this is, get ready, this is education time. I like doing this. It breaks 1860 there, and then wicks up. That is the momentum of guys like me, punching in, watching this stock go, hoping that it goes higher, and then it stops, and then you get this instant drop back down because it was a failed break. It went all the way back here, right where there was congestion again, and stopped, right? And so that's why you heard me. I have less than half of the position that I had initially on that break. So there we go. Now we get out again. You don't see that tick, but I just got out there 48 on that 50 break. But there it is. See, like that might have been also a break. So let's cancel. I had an outside up. See, that's the same thing. Like I just got out there and now it's breaking back to the upside. So fails to break below 50 and then heads back up. So Palantir right now, guys, this is not the style. Boom, AMD. We'll talk about that in a second. There goes AMD. We're long 82.62. This is a 37-cent winner. Do you see the difference here between AMD and Palantir? Like, you have a way different profile of movement here. Like, this is $1 to the upside right now. Palantir struggling right here at these levels, right? And so that's really the difference. We're going to hold a little piece in case it does go, but Palantir, that was pretty profitable. Little trading there. I'll put the executions back on, but that's kind of what I look at, and that's why, Daryl, I really like what you did there. You can see we did get out on some of that failed break to the high side. So we're going to hold for one more time in 1845 break, and we'll be out of Palantir. But really, man, that was a big trade on AMD. Look at that out right there, $83. Good out.
Even dollar levels, you got to take some profit at some places, and sometimes it's just it gives you that even dollar range. Now, this is not an even dollar look here on Macy's, but you have to go to the higher time frame sometimes to see yesterday's tops right here at this 920. Some failed breaks here to the upside in the pre-market, so you can throw those out. But this 920 is certainly going to be resistance, and then you're going to look at the double top here. Now, I did have a breakout long that couldn't get any further. That's the best profit we took at 920. So double top. Close to 11 o'clock, level from yesterday as well, and that all signals to me that I will take a shot shorting with a breakout to the long side on Macy's through 920. Brendan, what's up?
If you like those breakout type of charts, have a look at this one. CIIC, that brand new EV space entrant on the SPAC we talked about earlier, holding 17, holding 18 on the resistance end. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter on the consolidation. Volume kind of dying off here, but looks like it might want to test higher. Still 30% for this thing, but keeps popping up on a volume leader board today, guys. The CIIC.
I see. Nicola killing me right here because we get in and we get out. It's a profitable stock, so we could, line up the money. I mean, this is what we've been doing lately, just catching this. Where is it? What's on that side? Can you get it? Where is it? Can you get it? There it is. Thank you. Okay, Nicola, we did catch a little bit there, but then we did lose on our last 10%. So now you're seeing Nicola to the high side. I have to learn. I'm going to sneeze. I have to learn to hold this just a little bit. Maybe I won't. Just a little bit longer next time. But I think we did a good job of holding on Sonos. We got some nice little trades there. This for me is the best trade. And I talk about it, if you're joining us for the first time, I do have my patented little sticky note sheet here that we have. Oh, I'm covering it at the bottom there. That's NEO. Look at that, 46.50. I'll show you NEO. There's Palantir, 1850. We've already smacked that. Look, there's Sonos with the stars, guys. NEO and Sonos, both there. Oh, and there's Tesla, 502, which we crushed before we decided to go short. That was a joke of a trade. Should not have done that one. Okay, Palantir comes out. So there it is. So we lose on the last little bit of that one. We're going to hit something that I haven't hit lately because, honestly, I haven't had many losses. And I can review all the trades. And I think that's something that we should do more often is review all the positions that we've had and why we've made the trades. But we will flush ourselves down the toilet there on Palantir. I do not like this stock anymore today until it does break above even this level now, 1870. It has to get going. I'm done playing with it around VWAP, guys.
Nicola finally makes that little break. We talked about this when it bounced off VWAP, just so you guys know. A bit of a higher time frame look here because it's going to be a little different from some of the breaks that you might have been looking at that we've been talking about. But it is this level on the daily chart, around 2740, 2750 was the previous support, and then a bit of a breakthrough to the top side today. Now, keep in mind, Nicola, there is of course the news that we've been bringing. GM saying that there is no updates. Of course, there was some positive wins that came through yesterday. You saw the massive spike up, so there is some idea that it could be overextended at this point. But if I see that kind of a break, I'm going to take it almost every single time when I see it on the daily chart. So Nicola, I'll probably have to give it all the way back to 27. Even before we know that we're wrong, and that sort of lends itself to 28 being a first target on Nicola. I will have to go back to CBAT, and apologies. Sean just mentioned, and it's a great point. Sometimes I'll get into some of these smaller cap names on these rollovers and not really go back and cover them too much, but I am still in this one. I did that nice little rollover off of a couple of lower highs. One here at 820, and now putting one in at 790. That's the one I'm currently using. Once it breaks VWAP, then I'll start taking profit out for half of it in front of this range low. If it breaks that, I'm looking for 710 to 730 as the rest of my outs. So yeah, I am still in this trade. It hasn't really done much. That's why I haven't covered it too much. But if it breaks VWAP, I am taking some profit off on CBAT. Brendan, what's up?
Another one from the earnings list today. BJ Wholesale to the downside today. It did get back above 42 there on a volume spike. So we are making recent highs for the other Costco, I guess. BJ Wholesale back to the upside, 1.5% though, still in negative territory, guys.
I see the love there from Daryl and Dan. I sent you guys a little bit of a note there. And thank you for the heads up on GRWG. Guys, I gave this one to everybody. You bought it at $27.50, my friend, there. And I bought this thing at 17. So it doesn't matter. A win is a win. I haven't even been looking at this yet today. What are we at on GRWG? What? $30.24. Guys, this was a play like, own, not trade. This is why I don't know what it's at, because I just own this stuff. We own this thing down here at 17. This is when we actually it was back a year. This is when we talked about it. It was about September 30th or so when we did, so it gets 15, 16. This is what I'm talking about. This is when Kamala Harris was talking about it, and I came on, and you'll remember, Neil, what I called Grow Generation brands. Do you remember, Neil?
They are the Home Depot
right.
of the cannabis space. Oddly enough, interesting fact, I believe it was a former Home Depot CEO a year ago joining their board. So there's that connection as well, just doubling down on that one. But I want to get to Nicola here because it's going to look funny on this one, and I didn't say this to you guys, it's going to look funny on this 1 minute chart, but I'm going to take a shot also adding to this position on a pullback. So I talked about 27 a second ago. If it gets down to this price, I want to be adding to this position. I just feel like I look at a level like that, and if it breaks and we get any kind of a squeeze up, you could have a nice little run on Nicola. So I like this for a dip buy, not taking it out necessarily on the way back in. So if we do get any kind of a bounce on 27, you'll probably see me get into some shares at 15, somewhere in the teens or in front of that 20 area, just to make sure we can catch some on the way up, not on the way down. You know how I like to do it.
All right, yeah, just watching here. The only position I have on is AMD, and like we said, it's 11 o'clock, and I've got 220 fills already. That's a lot, and we're just waiting for AMD to go high side. You can see the market not really doing anything. The NASDAQ's thinking about making new highs or not. Yeah, okay, that's fine, Dan. You can, if you want to come on, Dan. I don't know if you have our email address, but definitely message us and we'll let you come on. But it doesn't have to be today. It could be any day. Same as you, Daryl. I know you have it. You've been our guest trader of the day in the past as well. So I think that'd be fun. Just because you are following a lot of the trades that I make and have your own ideas as well. I think it'd be really, really super interesting for that. This FANG stock right now starting to head back to the downside. I know Brendan had a decent trade on this one. I think Neil was talking about it as well. But FANG right now with some volume. Come on, FANG. Let's load the chart if I can. There it comes. The volume coming back to the downside. They're breaking a little bit now. Is FEN to the G. You still have that, Neil?
Just only like that. I did add some back in, but it's still a smaller position than I had in the morning, just because it never really tested me. And I think I love these trades when they don't do that. It did make a bounce at VWAP once, and I caught on the way back down. There was a missed opportunity to get something again at VWAP, but again, when it goes too sleepy, I try not to overtrade it. I still have my targets all the way down to 2 even, and I don't know why I haven't noticed this before. We're about to go to our European update, but Valeria's sweater matches the board, and I feel like I should have made that connection like months ago. But either way, let's go to Valeria for our European update.
Hey guys, European shares are mostly in a negative territory due to the rising COVID cases. Russia is down 1.11%. Spain is down 0.35%. Italy is down 0.06%. And Britain is down 0.96%. Royal Mail is a positive mover as it raised its full year revenue. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
I'm just saying I'm continuing to come up with some ideas here. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. We're continuing to come up with some ideas, and I did see somebody there talk about possibly reviewing our trades, and I think that would be a great segment to do that. We could review our trades. I just think we should do something like just go over all of the names that we've traded. Like, here's AMD. This is again, come on, charts. Let's go. Like, here's AMD. We could talk about what we've done on that and just review all of our positions and what we've done and why we did them. So we'll think about some more different things coming up for you guys soon. But remember, we do go to 8:30. Is that going to be coming up too? Let's just wait to see. Three. Oh, not trade. Guys, educational videos only on number 1, guys. Coming up on 3, though. We'll take that off and put this back up. Here it comes. There it is. 8:30 a.m. We're going to have starting on November 30th. So we'll be in to review a bunch of different things for you earlier than normal there. Yeah, if we're in at 8:30, I may even take some trades at 8:30. So you'll see that coming in the pre-market. But these are good, man. 45.90, 46, big time trades here on NEO today.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to go back over to a couple of names here, you talked about reviewing trades, and you got to make sure you're monitoring everything that's going on, even the stocks that you have a bit of a plan. Let's just go back and make sure that everything is going to that plan. You don't miss an opportunity. Now, I'd mentioned if Nikola bounced off of 27, I'd try to get something in the 27.20 range. Obviously, if you're already long, it bouncing at 27.30 is a good sign. I do want to let this one ride into 28. Now, normally, $27 stock, yes. Would I be taking 10, 15, 20 cents scalps? Sure. I just feel like this is a bit of a different play. That's why I gave you the higher time frame look. And you do see me getting some out. If it breaks to 28, I'll certainly take some out in front of that on the north side and then all the way to 28.50. I just feel like there's a lot more room to go on this play. So I want to give it some more of that room. Macy's, unfortunately, and this is going to happen from time to time, I was trying to get shares on this consolidation around 9.10. And I was sort of willing to chase it a little bit to like 9.05, but I didn't add to it, and I haven't been able to. I don't love the fact it's making a higher low, so I'm actually going to cancel this order here, and I'm only going to take shares in front of this 9.20 from about 8 to 15. So if I don't get that price, it is what it is. I'll end up with a smaller position, but it's past 11 o'clock. I wasn't aggressive enough trying to get into this, and part of that is going to be in 4 or 5 symbols at once, right? So that's the only reason I didn't add to this Macy's position. If it breaks 9 and holds lower, I'll start taking profit off first in front of 890 and then the rest out in front of VWAP down here at 880, but was unable to get more shares, guys.
Oh man, I see some people, they got to go to school now. I'm sorry for that one. You got to go to school, got to do some online
That's
school
good.
now. Sad. Yeah, I'd be sad too. You got to stay with these markets. Yeah, sorry about everybody in New York there. They got locked down on their school yesterday, so that's yikes. I hope that never happens to us. My kids absolutely love school, and they're, as you can tell, they're pretty social, so they're loving school right now, and I'd hate for that to happen here, but it may. I told the wife, get some canned goods because we probably go locked down pretty soon. What's up, B?
I mentioned this one earlier, that little FUV stock, another little EV space player, 1250, trying to hold here as support, but just popped up to the top of the volume list. Yeah, it looks like it might test lower here. This FUV is the one that they teamed up with the city of Orlando to start testing some 3-wheel electric vehicles as part of their city fleet. Guys.
I'm going to come back over to Billy. We had some mixed results, of course. Accidentally got out for a small win there, and then we took a hit going back into the short trade. It's putting in a higher low, which is what I kind of anticipated could happen after that first big pullback. Now, shorting here is off of like this 56 area, not off the top. Again, I just sort of stick to the same plan because one of the things I'll say, and I think I mentioned this yesterday about my style of trade, it's very unlikely, especially shorting moves like this. The chances that you're going to win in every single one of them is pretty low because you're so strong counter against the trend. So what you're trying to do is limit your losses. And when you get the big flush, you get that $1.50 move, just make sure you've only been losing 15, 20, 40 cents, that kind of thing. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out for you. And I just missed a dip buy again on Nikola. It just bounced to 27.30. Why am I trying to get 20s? It just bounced at 30, and I missed a shot to get more shares. Still long in Nikola, and it's back in the money, and I've missed another chance to add to that position.
All right, yeah, we're just talking, look at NEO, man. I mean, look, I called Citron for that report, was a joke, and yeah, it's bouncing really nicely back here. I mean, remember, they did have earnings then, so it's not that NEO, they didn't like the earnings a couple days ago. Whoops, I'm still on the ellipse, gotta get off that. You can see we did fade back down. This is earnings day here, and then this is Citron day as it was just rocketing to the high, and then of course these reports come out, and you can see what happened here, and this is earnings as well this day. So yeah, this is the big drop on the Citron news, which whatever. I mean, you come out, you put price targets on things. I don't think that's news from them anyways. Now you go to the upside right here, 47, 48. I think we could take that out now. I'm not super excited about it. Let's go down to a 3-minute chart. What time is it? 11:06. I think this needs a little bit more work here with NEO, but 48, yeah, see, it's too bunchy here. Yeah, I don't like 48 as much as I thought. What up?
Just checking on NetApp here, guys. NetApp off to the races. I don't see anything terribly exciting yet, but have a look at NetApp NETE. Recent volume spike here through $9 straight to 10. So $1 straight to the upside there for NETE, guys.
It's exactly at the same moment that, and it's hard for me not to look at this level. We talked about this on Billy. I just got into the Billy short. That's why it's front of my mind. But a KNDI, Candy, 1350. It's 1, 2, 3. Call it 4 tests at the top. So I am looking at this level rather closely. If it does break out, I still should have it. Yeah, I do. Still have an order from almost. Was that the pre-market? Yeah, my order is literally in from the pre-market to look at this 1350 break, which is happening maybe shortly on KNDI. Even if it goes in the afternoon, I'll certainly take this trade. The more times it tests that level, the better I think the breakout could be. KNDI up 18%, but every now and then you buy high, sell higher, as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, no, we're always trying to do the other way around here, including on AMD. We've given this one a little bit of room now, and it tried to go. This is a 3-minute chart again. We'll zoom in just a little bit now so you can see it. This NASDAQ is not doing anything right now. If anything, it's falling down. So we're going to give AMD probably just back to this 50 level. We've crushed this. We have our 10% left on it. So I was just hoping, because again, remember we talked about share size and whatnot. Your 10% is going to be different than mine, different than Neil's, everything like that. Canada's blue, big jump yesterday. Looks like it wants to go. Is that Blue Lagoon? BLU on Canada. We'll look into that in a minute. Matt Murphy.
That's Bellis. Well,
I don't know.
I think Brendan talked about that the other. I feel like Brendan mentioned that stock the other day.
Which one?
Bellis, BLU in Toronto.
Oh, BLU, yeah. So we'll find out more about that. Let's go to Brendan right now.
I was just going to mention not BLU, but why not? Let's check on it. Bellis Health in Toronto. There's a couple of downgrades on it. Not seeing anything else in the way of Bellis Health, guys, but just checking on IPO for today. Coming up a little bit later, possibly Yatsen Holding, guys.
Sorry, I just got another new position here now. It's the time of day where I don't always have like 5, 6 on, but a couple of stocks that I was watching, and I talked about WWR in the reversal, had to break and hold below 550. I just got some shares at 547, unable to add there on the break, but it just took out VWAP. Now, obviously, you can see this consolidation in the pre-market down here, 25 to 30. So you're really only thinking about 10, 15, 20 pennies on a move like this. So as much as I like this trade, it won't be a gigantic home run as if I had caught it off the top. It just never really extended to a point where I was going to be shorting it at the high end. Had to wait for it to pull back in. It's going to happen, but winner is a winner. This time I got to pull back on Nicholas. I was able to buy some shares, but not very many down there at 27.30 on that little dip trade. But WWR, new position alert, just got short when it broke VWAP.
Okay, we also just took GBTC, and the fund just continues. It went down to 20 there, so we did pick some up at 20. Now it's at 08, so we are getting out of some of that right now as it goes. We also get into some Hertz right now on that trade as well, so we're watching that. Hertz right now short at 14, looking to get out at 13. Some big size right there. We'll see what it wants to do. AMD still bouncing around as well. What up, Beat?
Yeah, so this one is supposedly going to start trading today. Worth having a look. It's tough to see. Maybe I can zoom in here a little bit. Make this easier. Yeah, Yatsen Holding, which is YSG. YSG on the New York Exchange. Shout out to Greg, our floor manager, pointing this one out. Yeah, price between $850 and $1050. That is the value, $709 million. So decent size for YSG. It's a Chinese company, guys.
Decent.
See.
Yeah, okay, we'll look at all of these names. I'm still watching AMD here, as really it's the only position that I do have on of any serious note right now, and it's not even that serious. I will look over, because it's only 10%. I will look over at AMD, Macy's. We did talk about Macy's early, and I did like it. The only level I wrote down was 8. I wanted to see if it did something down there. I don't know if this wick is real or not, probably not, but it does go down to 805. So if we did have an order planted there, it would have been pretty sweet. But Macy's, we were waiting to see what it did at 8. And it looks like it rejected that. We're going to find out if that print was real down there at 805 because it is.
I have it as real. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we don't have this.
I mean, it traded down there for for a little bit. So I mean, it does feel like that was a real order.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I just checked on a different. Damn it! I just checked that. I wish it didn't. I just checked on a different source there. Yeah, it did trade down there. So that's why. I mean, on earnings days, guys, like we talked about $8 here. Some highs yesterday or 2 days ago before earnings day, and then yesterday, look what happened. We had some consolidation around 8 as well before. Oops. Cancel that. Before we get ripped upside right there. So yeah, that's why we like that 8. And I learned my lesson. I didn't learn it, but I will learn it. $8 low. We did the same trade on Nikola. So it's not that I don't have this in my box. I do, because look, here's Nikola. We like the long. We waited on the downside. Nikola opened 27. We got long 26.14. And what a great trade that would have been. But we don't have it on anymore, Brendan.
Somebody, I didn't catch who it was who was talking about that BLU, Bellis Health, here in Toronto. We mentioned Raheem Alani from OCI Groups, all over it, watching the show. What's up, Raheem? Bellis getting a $12 price target from Evercore going back a couple of days ago. So there was that headline. They actually got a downgrade today from Zacks as well, I saw, for that BLU. Guys.
I'm going to give cheers to Raheem. I'm sure you're drinking something a little better than coffee, buddy. But CBAT here, and again, I'm going to go back to this name, and it's not like it's doing anything crazy, but it's worth reviewing. This consolidation here, I didn't get it off of this 810 area. Obviously, it would have been nice. But we'll catch some shares at 780. I'm taking some out in front of the bottom of the range, like I did say. That'll be like 20 to 25 cent, 15 to 20 cent wins. Once it breaks, and I still have one more order to fill, that'll be a 25 cent win. I'm going to take the rest out down here between this 25 and 50. I just want to have some orders in case it flushes down. If it breaks this level and goes all the way back to yesterday's close, I'd have maybe like 10% of the position on. This is not the perfect short at the top. This is not the second consolidation. This is like the third. So you temper expectations a little bit because you don't have the perfect entry price. Just something you got to do at this time of day. To go back over to WWR, I just got into this short off the little break of VWAP. It gave me one fill down here in front of that pre-market breakout price, not the pre-market high, but the pre-market breakout, which was down here at 540. Now it's testing back to the upside. There was some chop here at 555. I'm not letting it go through that range. Again, if I'm taking 10, 15, at best 20 cent wins, do I want to lose more than 10 pennies? Probably not. So if I don't see any kind of a sell back into the downside, I won't be adding to the position. I'll definitely take it off on the front side of 555, sorry. And then Nikola, I did get some more shares down here in the 27.30 range. This is different. I'm giving that one to 27. I feel like I'm not taking profit till I'm getting at least a 40 to 50 cent win. So I'm going to give it that much room on the downside here on Nikola.
I did want to, you talked about Raheem there, yeah, and it's good to have friends in good places, especially when you're talking this business, and thank you to Raheem for that one, was part of our educational segment yesterday. So Canadian small cap, if you have any, any questions about those, Raheem will come back through with that, and we actually do want to include him, as Neil knows, of course, in our segments from 8:30 on. So as we get going more and more with the show, we're going to find out some guests. Brendan teased that a little bit earlier as well, that we're going to have more people on the show and give you some more insights into some of those names. So BLU, just another one. Thanks for bringing that up today, Matt, about that. And we just did cover it there for you a little bit. So thank you to Raheem and to Matt for bringing that up as well. We just don't trade U.S. names on the show. We'll trade everything for you. It's just where the action right now is on the U.S. side. AMD still looking pretty good here. We're going to see what it does at 82.90. Again, we were holding this thing all the way through. I was giving it down to VWAP, but that didn't break. So no skin off our back right there on AMD.
And Fuel Cell comes all the way back as well. I mean, this made a nice little double top here. And the reason I'm mentioning a double top, because everyone knows candy makes you dandy. And KNDI, another bounce off of this 1350 top. So every time it does this, I'm just going to like the breakout a little bit more eventually at that 1350 price. Like I said, had it in since the pre-market. If you've been buying off dips, clearly you would have made some money instead of waiting around for that eventual break. So 13, if it does get taken out, I wouldn't short it, maybe below like 1285, because it is a hard rejection of that top. And Candy's been running so hard to the upside recently that there could be a retracement play in here. But my look is for the breakout at 1350. I think shorts will probably have to wait till we're below 1285, which I guess could happen any second now or any minute now. So you might see me drop into a short trade. That will be a scalp through 12. Let me make sure I have that level right. No, yeah, it is 1285 there. Just make sure I have that right to a breakdown on the KNDI. Otherwise, I want to break out at 1350.
Okay, so there it is. We'll do it again. We'll go Superman on this one as AMD. Look, man, I'm going to take another 35 cents on this. We just got out at 97 right there. So in, out, in. So AMD, we said we'd get this to you positive today, and there it is. AMD now positive for me. So we do like that trade. We'll see if it can go even more. I did get out some there, so now I have 5% left as we get out of a little bit there. We did talk about why we had 10% on that name, so we're going to wait to see if it does continue to go upside. My upside target for this, really, I mean, I don't have one. It's a small amount of shares, but I will put in order. It doesn't matter what the share size you have. You got to trade your plan and trade what you have. So that's why we get out there. How many times am I going to see it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tops there on AMD. So we're going to watch for that one. My next little out is going to be at this consolidation spot right here. 83.36 is the bottom of this, so I'll probably put an order around 30 to see if we can't get that. I mean, that'd be a great trade. I mean, imagine I'm talking about like, hey, if we can get 80 cents, but we'll take it, and you never know what this market's going to do. Look at the NASDAQ coming down here, and AMD still stays high. AMD, another long-term call that we made. Congratulations to Rob over there. Sold it. We bought it together, $76 or so. I still got mine. Mine's in a long-term account. Rob, in and out, I think around here, 82 or 83. So congratulations for you on that one. But here we go. Was I right on that, Rob? 86. Boom! We're going to go boom for Rob there, and we'll hit the stick for that. Great trade. Out 86. Takes a smooth 10 spot on that. Congratulations, Rob. Maybe you got to sit in this desk.
We actually we joked around about this, that one day it'd be hilarious if the production crew took our jobs and we tried to take theirs. And I actually said this, they do a better job doing what we do because there's no chance I could make any sense of that board. I get like nightmares just watching how many buttons they have to work with here. I took a hit going long and Boeing. You got to stick to your plan. I had written down 203 break. Of course, I don't get it off the open. We covered a lot of names in the pre-market. I don't know why we missed Boeing. It's just one of those things that happened, and I ended up missing the trade as well. It's now coming down to 200, another level I was looking to defend. Now, if this breaks, I mean, you know, I definitely like 196, just to keep in mind here if we can't hold 200. But first things first, it is that time of day where you can start thinking about the market leveling off. You are seeing the ES and the NASDAQ both holding either a couple of points, 0.2 upside, 0.2 downside, respectively. So we might go sideways from here. And if we do, I like this in front of 200 in Boeing. I've taken one shot at this trade. It is a relatively tight stop. I get that. But it's counter trend. I think that's the way I always try to play it. You're trying to make $2 or $3, maybe even more than that, and only want to risk, $150 depending on the slippage you get. So Boeing, I'm going to take a shot here around a 201 average price I'd like to have in the event that 200 breaks sometime during this lunchtime hour.
All right. As the show goes, 11:20 right now, 83.11 here. We're going, man. We're going up to that spot, upside on AMD, and I never thought this call would turn out to be this good here, but there it is. Now it's breaking out again. 11s. You could get a little bit of a breakout through 83.18 here on AMD. I'm hella long, like we just talked about in our own account, but not right now. We only have 5% left, so AMD. I still have this kind of a target in. If the NASDAQ gets going, we hit that easily, so let's just wait to see. You can see what I typed in there, Daryl. CCL, so let's go over here and have a quick look at CCL. It's been a mover today. They did have that share offering, but doesn't seem to want to do anything to that stock as it comes back downside. I get nervous about this because it's just such a virus name, and I just don't know what to do with this anymore. It doesn't really follow the market. I mean, look, we still kill it, right? But we're still looking at this. I don't think we can put on big shares any levels here. If anybody on the chat has an idea right now on CCL, it's kind of just bouncing around. Very, very small range today. I just want to check it out. Remember, I'm over on a 3-minute chart. What up, B?
Notice this one on the upgrades and downgrades. Earlier, we were talking about FISV up 3.7%. Look at the volume that just came in there. Near day highs, that 112 kind of 25-30 area. They did a deal. This is an online services or a financial services company in the online space. So they enabled ExxonMobil to be able to accept Google Pay. So you can now go to an ExxonMobil, any of their gas stations, and pay with Google Pay, which is contactless, obviously, which is great for what we are currently living through. So FISV on the watch, guys.
All right. That's actually what I use right now. I mean, my bank is able to, you can upload your Visa card or your debit card into Google Pay, and I use that, and I love it. And just for that exact reason, man, it's contactless. Tap, and you gone. So that's Google Pay and Google. Again, I love Google, man. If you're going to buy any stock, man, Google is my number one. Google and Disney, my two largest holdings.
I see some people asking about Tesla resistance. Now, obviously, I know Sean had the nice winners on Tesla here. But I want to quickly jump back over here because I don't see anything that stands out obvious to the upside. And I think if you're looking at selling Tesla, you better be very clear about what it is that you're going to be doing in terms of a level. So I am staying away from this. Now, if it were to reject this move, because you're seeing us climb slowly. I mean, you had faster moves to the upside, of course, the last couple of sessions, and we're climbing slowly off the 500 break. So if it does make a rejection that pulls back, and then we get below that 500, maybe a 500 breakdown trade would be a little bit more to my liking if I'm looking for a short or a place to take profits if you're long. So it's my first look at Tesla since obviously bungling the 462.50 break that we liked. I'll go back to Boeing here. It did base out. I got some shares here at 201.32. I will take some off in front of this level, for like a dollar win like we always do. But I was looking to add to it on the south side of 201 for a tighter stop. It didn't happen, so it is what it is. I'll just take what I can at this time of day. If it pops up even a little bit more, I will have a nice little win on Boeing. Not nearly as good as a day as it should have been if I had had that 203 break, but you got to take what is there for you. You can't cry over spilt milk, so we'll take the dollar win. I'm trying to run the other half of this trade into VWAP here, so if I can get like $3.5, that'll be a fantastic outcome on the rest of this Boeing trade. Actually still negative on the day, so it turns positive at 203.30. Might catch some momentum off of that as well.
Brandon, what up?
Just looking at Blink again. Hope somebody caught that. We mentioned that one pretty early on. I think it was through this 17 little consolidation. So up to $18 now for Blink, charging more all-time highs. There's also this other one, AYRO, which is also in the EV space apparently today. I just noticed some volume coming into this one. About to make a day high here, 33% for AYRO.
I just feel like every day we're sitting in front of like a casino, basically, because if you plan this properly, man, there are a lot of stocks that are running like crazy. And I mean, Blink is like 20%. This is not even a name that's like out of nowhere. We've been looking at Blink for a while. And those of you guys on the chat that have traded with us know that this is a name that we've looked at before. So yeah, what a great run. I mean, Brendan just talked about the daily chart breaking out. I mean, well above the 50 period. If you were going to buy Blink, it was right here on this consolidation and then the break up to 17. So great call there, Brendan. Great to bring it up. There's another name in this space, obviously, as well. Plug Power. PLUG. Plug Power. We've also done that as well. Looking to see what they want to do. Breaking out again, man, up 5% again on Plug Power. Again, these are 3-minute charts. I'm actually going to switch them back because if we're going to scalp, we need a 1 minute better than a 3 for right now. This is 24.50. We could get back to there to some consolidation around 24. Let's pick this one up, 24 teens. 24 teens, if we can, back in this consolidation, Brendan.
I just saw this picture. I wanted to show it to you guys. This is AYRO's 3-seater. So this is one-seater. 3-wheel vehicle. So EV, there's multiple different body types, but one-seater EV coming to apparently university campuses. They're going to do a deal with a bunch of universities apparently for transportation around the campus. So pretty cool looking, guys.
That one is it a Rough Riders or Jadakiss video? That 3-wheeler looks a heck of a lot cooler than that one. But again, it's all about practicality as long as I'm not going to judge the product because I don't know too much about it, obviously. But it's probably more practical than it is cool looking. Now, I always say this, do not look a gift horse in the mouth. And that's exactly what I've done here over in Macy's. Now, I was looking to get some shares out. This is $8.90 down here. Of course, I got this first rollover at 90. I got 907s. I did want to catch some more shares if I could around 905. I didn't get them. Instead of just taking it out for like a 15-cent win, which is pretty good here for half and the rest at VWAP, I kind of tried to get the perfect out, right at that absolute bottom. Didn't get it. Now I'm waiting a little bit higher for a 15-penny winner. Maybe it comes back down. I'm still going to reload, but as I said before, I'm only reloading between 5s and like 12s, something along those lines. That 920 is a nice little double top that we have to watch out for on Macy's. But certainly, look, I can't look at this and say and be proud that I didn't scalp anything off down here. Probably a bit of a mistake there. It's still in the money for me, but I am going to cover this if it comes back down anywhere close to that 890, and then the rest of it down at VWAP. And I'm going to wait patiently to get my original price here around that 910. Boeing has come back on me here a little bit, guys. So I am still planning on reloading. I mean, this didn't happen. If this wick was real, I would have gotten out. Still a bit of a dark pool print up here at 204. But if it comes back down to this 201, I am looking to reload on Boeing in front of 200. So I've made a little bit back here on the original loss that we had going long Boeing, but I am going to continue to buy in front of this 200 level, scalp a buck 50, and then try and ride it into VWAP here on Boeing. Let's see if we can't get this one positive on the day, both on P&L wise, but 203.30 would be Boeing ending up positive itself.
Like, just so you guys know, if you can go this camera, you can see there's no crystal ball here. There's VOV, which has been empty for a while, so we don't have any of that. There's some phones here and whatnot. There's my email. Good thing you guys can see that. Don't look at my email. Go to Twitter. But look at AMD. There it is. We called that play. I said NASDAQ's going to go boom a little bit, and AMD right back there to the high side, and we get out right before this consolidation. Now it's ripping to the high side. So guess what? We add another name to the positive list today. The only negative stock we're on today, Palantir. Actually, we did take a cut on Tesla, but we talked about that and we've seen that. Who cares about Palantir? We'll go over that after. Sonos, let's check out what that's doing. But there goes AMD, one of the biggest stocks. I love this name. It goes, especially on NVIDIA day. I haven't traded NVIDIA. I know Neil did, but look at this. Pretty choppy here, not doing much, especially on a 1-minute chart. I mean, this is crazy for AMD. On earnings day, it's doing this. Very, very surprising. But if you do take out VWAP, like if you like NVIDIA long, first of all, we're breaking out a little bit right now off this NASDAQ move. If they do want NVIDIA to go up, it needs to break at least here. I know that's obvious, and I'm really glad. Like, it seems obvious when we talk about this, but I'm just more, happy that you guys are now seeing some of the levels that us traders, look at all the time. We just don't try to play momentum. I try to play off these levels, and that's why, we do sometimes have the success that we have. You got to be patient and wait into some of these plays here today. I've traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names today. We're 6 for 8, including small losses on Palantir and Tesla, but 530, you could break this VWAP, but I like this break on NVIDIA a little bit better, 530 and change. So if you did like that, but hey, look at AMD, man. We just killing it there. Is it just still going up, buy, and still going? I mean, obviously, like I said, if I had that crystal ball, we would still be in this, but what a big move that is there. Just another successful day for me.
Yeah, and you talk about a crystal ball not having it. I just saw Blink continue to run to the upside. So my best talk today is going to still be of. We talked about YY Joy here on the news. I know we missed out on Baidu because I was trading this one off at the open. It's been only scalp trade so far, and the reason, I'm going to go over it again. It's not like I knew this is going to bounce off of 85, and you can see it again resting and holding 85. It has nothing to do with necessarily even reading this chart. It's just that I was short when it came into this price, and I'm telling you, if you saw the same thing I saw in the level 2, you would have noticed that there's a serious buyer at that price holding it back to the upside. The same way at 90, it's not even about the size on the level 2. It's the price action when it hits the tape. And then you see refreshers. I mean, any size that goes away just comes right back at each of those two prices. So I've been staying away from an 85 break, and I didn't like it when it was doing this and looking pretty strong. But when you start rubbing on this level, 2-3 times down here and a couple of times testing, it starts to look a little bit better to the south side. So I wouldn't have taken it earlier on in the day, but now it does look like you can get a bit of a scalp trade. There was a buyer down at 83.50 as well, so I think that's why you're taking $1 on that trade. And I'm going to make sure, not willing to pay down on an 85 break to like 84.50 or 84.75. Either I get 85 to 90, which is a solid price, or I don't get it at all. You got to be willing. There's always a price you're not willing to pay. That's why I don't use market orders. But a marketable limit now at 85, giving me like 84.50, 84.85, that's perfectly reasonable because I think I'm only getting $1 on that trade. So I want to make sure I have a good risk to reward. The top end of this consolidation is another $1 higher, so you're probably only giving it halfway. That's another reason why you don't want to chase it too far on Joy here. Boeing's back in the money, but I already took $1 on that trade. You can see I'm long at 201.30. Well, when the profits roll past and we go back to the positions, I've already taken $1, but the rest of this trade, I'm looking for $3. So it's got to be back to VWAP for me on Boeing, or the only other slight change to that would be I get more shares on a dip. Now, if I get more shares on a dip, I'll scalp a $1.50 again and then wait for the rest for the bigger trade. So that hasn't happened. If it does, I'll do another scalp. Otherwise, I want this back at VWAP. Give me my $3, guys.
Okay, we're still watching. I mean, you can see on the board I have Hertz. It's not doing anything. We're still waiting for some more trades to come through here, hopefully faster rather than not. But, I mean, this AMD trade, I'm still beside myself on this one as it just continues to make monstrous moves to the upside. No idea why this is happening. That's why we went over to NVIDIA and was like, hey, NVIDIA, can you give us the answers to this play? Because I have no idea what it's doing. Like, okay, now NVIDIA is getting a little bit more exciting here. 5:30.20. Let's take that break now that I just noticed that.
Also, Roku just broke through its high of day here. Now, the actual top is let's look at the daily chart, 255.66. If that comes into play, certainly we'll have a look at this, but this just broke out once again through 250, so another breakout, up 9% on the session, 255.66, is that what I had there? Make sure I get it right, yeah, 255 and change. That is going to be the top if you go to the daily chart, so I'm watching that level. If we fail to break through there, at some point I'll take a shot shorting at Roku, but not till we at least test that high. I just want to make sure I got that one to you. Another mover, I mean, like Sean said, it feels like a casino. So many breakout trades this morning. Of course, the best one, in my estimation, I don't know whether percent-wise Sono was the best move, but certainly in terms of a setup and execution, I feel like that was the best one, so good on Sean. It's not always about the trade, and maybe there is something else that had a bigger percent move, but it's more about, was it an actionable trade that was realistic for you to be able to get solid reasons to get in, solid risk structure. That's how I would grade it. That's why I think Sonos rounds out the top today.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. Yeah, it definitely. I mean, I can call it up if you're just looking at it right now for the first time. Thanks, Neil, for bringing that up. Yeah, and again, Sonos, guys, it's on my little list here. It's on the where it's in the middle there. That's good view. 2075 I wrote down with the multiple stars. I actually adjusted that to 2050, so you guys know about that one. And there it is, right there off the open. As soon as 2050 was kind of the high of the pre-market, as soon as that broke, we murdered it to the upside here. And just absolutely crushed it. So that was a great trade. Always nice to start the day off with the bangers, and we did that, and then we banged out Palantir as well off the open. This stock, though, I mean, look, it's another 3%. I mean, we just keep on cashing out, or not cashing out, we keep on cashing in every day on this. I have been cashing out mistakenly. I was long 950, out some 14s, out some 15s, out yesterday, 18 on an 18 break. So now I got to be a little bit more, I don't know, I don't want to say frugal. I want to be the opposite way. I want to be a little more risky here with Palantir and just see if we hit that $20 sooner rather than later. I did make a purchase last night as well with Rocket. That's down about $1. I think we got long in the 22 area. It just puked yesterday afternoon. So I think I'm long like in here or so, 22.20, something like that on Rocket. I do like it. Very, very early position. I think Rocket companies can come down even more. We're going to watch out for this $18 level. I really want it on this break of 23, 24, but I was trying to get in a little bit early on that play because I did like it so much. So we're going to watch out for that one right here. Rocket Companies, recent IPO. I think it can go Palantir-like at some point. Just needs a couple upgrades.
Every now and then you get, I'm going to go hot dog action because sometimes you get a little bit lucky, and I think this is going to be the case here in Macy's. Now, I should have taken profit the first time we got down to this 890, and I'm short here, and you got to be taking 15 pennies on this structure of a trade if you get it. Thankfully, there's a second rollover, so it does come back in my favor. Had I lost on that trade, I would have a big star next to you screwed up on that one, Neil. You should have taken your profit. Now I'm going to wait for this to come down into VWAP. I have an order down here already to make sure I can get that 25, 30 cent type of a win on Macy's. Boeing just bounced off of, I mean, this is a random price to not get a fill. Here at 201.57, it did trade, so it traded through, and then on the way back up, I tried to pick up some shares here, and I'd swear I was going to get a fill. I thought I was a little more active than I was, but didn't catch this little pullback trade. I am trying to get some more shares in Boeing in front of that 200 level, but I'm buying on the north side of 201. If it puts in a higher low, so I get filled here and it doesn't break below 201 even, I might move my stop from 200 to that higher low just to tighten things up a little bit. It is, getting that lunchtime hour where you start thinking about tightening your trades a little bit. I got to go back to CBAC because, like I said, got to do a better job of updating some of the stocks that are boring and going in the money for me anyways. I just got more shares out when it broke 760, so got out here at 754, 755. All of my shorts were in here, 780, 781, that type of thing. So 25-cent win. I got orders on the south side of 750 and the rest down here at 730. Now, again, these rollover trades, when they break the range, I want people's stops here around 750 to be momentum for me to get some of my shares out. Just in case it snaps right back, I'll get some kind of a fill here around 45 to 47. And then if it goes back to the upside and tests VWAP, because that was just a run on stops and not bigger selling, I've taken advantage of that and have some profits and can make a decision whether I want to re-enter some shares around VWAP or 770. So that's the plan here. CBAT going to plan so far. If it does break the 720 to the downside, I'll only have about 10% of the position for that kind of a YOLO home run trade back into 7 even or even further than that. But nice little winner here on CBAT. Been a good stock for us the last couple of days here, Bren. Sorry, not Brendan. I know he's trading it, or usually trading it. That's why I threw his name out there. He did pretty well on it the other day, but I know it's just me on this one. But Brendan did give it to my attention. I wasn't looking at it on a day 2, day 3 play, and thank you, Brendan, for that look.
Yeah, exactly. And look, we're all going to have different names, and you need to come up with some ideas. And Brendan, definitely, I mean, that's what we're doing on the show. Look, someone said, like, hit the like button if you've made money with some of these trades. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that is the purpose. We're all here to make money, and I hope you've been following some of the trades as they continue to be very, very profitable. But for me, I'm really, I mean, like, I'm happy making money. We do it every single day, and we'll raise this trophy up here as I have some garbage in there right now. Those are my old Post-it notes. Maybe I should put those up in the Hall of Fame. But right now, guys, it's more about, and what I'm getting at here is more about the education. It doesn't really matter if you make money if you're just starting trading, right? I think that we talk about that all the time. Paper trading is when, if you ever hear that term, that's like simulation. So you got to go into simulation mode. If you're uncomfortable trading, get over there and watch some of the trades that we're making. And we're always not going to be right all of the time. It's been a great run for me, but it doesn't mean that we're going to continue that. So definitely, just for you, I would more focus on why we're getting in and out of these positions rather than the last end result of the position. So I just think that that's something that's important to me anyways, because I could just continue this streak. And like I said, I don't know. I'll have to look for you. I'll look tonight. The last time we were negative on anything on the day, obviously we're negative on stocks, but that run will come to an end. It always does. So you're going to have to just focus on what we're doing and make sure you understand. If you do have any questions, at Trader TV Sean. Okay, we are ready there. Best advice there. Dan McIsaac, thank you so much on the chat. Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's wrap things up for the morning. We'll do a little bit of a review session, have a look at North American markets here. Heading towards lunchtime, we are still in negative territory for both the Dow and the S&P, but overall, decent day. 0.5% now for the NASDAQ, 0.4% for the 100 here to the upside. So tech stocks definitely leading to the upside. Everything else pretty choppy so far, including the Russell back in positive territory, 0.14%. Here in Toronto, 0.16%. For the TSX downside. BOVESPA, same story in negative territory once again, only 0.05%. Overall, not terribly exciting. These are the top symbols for the floor here so far today. Sono, NEO, FANG, and AMD per share P&L on that side of things. SONO, a great opportunity off the bat this morning. Let's have a look at that. We had this high from the pre-market. We had this high from aftermarket yesterday. Both were great opportunities. $1.50 to the upside there. Really hasn't done much since then. Kind of just, wedging into a bit of a channel as far as SONO is concerned. NIO, another one. This high, take your pick. Even that high on the consolidation to the upside. Great opportunity once again for NIO. A couple more to get through if my tablet will work. There we go. FENG, yeah, pretty great opportunity there. 250 was the resistance pre-market, all the way down to 210. Again, kind of dying out, volume dying off as well. Did I put a fourth one? I did not. That is Uber. We did not trade Uber today. Oh well. There you go. Look at a few of the top symbols, guys. Back over to Neil.
Maybe that was like a subliminal message to look at Uber. Now, probably not going to do that, but I want to update you guys. KNDI, Obviously, I still like the breakout, and I've been talking about it all morning long. If it gets to an afternoon break at 1350, I'm going to be involved in it if I get a shot. But once it broke VWAP in 1285, I will take this shot short as well. I don't like this as much as I like the long, but if it wants to hold this, I mean, it's trying to jailbreak already against me here. So again, I don't love it as much as a 1350. I think I would double the size, on that breakout trade as opposed to this short. But I'll give it about to like the 10 to 15, then see what happens. Manual stop here, which I might put a harder stop, but again, if you're working with a smaller position size, and I have a level 2 up so I can monitor it. Boeing here, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for me in Boeing. But it looks like, as long as I get this fill here any second now, we'll be taking another sort of $1.50 type scalp trade. I reloaded it at 201.50, so we'll try to get some shares out here for like a buck 20, right in the middle of that buck and then buck half. And I'm still holding and maintaining, and then we got the fill right there. So a nice little win on Boeing, but I'm still maintaining that I'll get up to VWAP, and I wish this was real, but that wick did not happen here up to 204 and change. That is where my target is to get out. I'm not looking to see if it breaks through this 205. I'll just get out shy of it. It's a hard reversal. We've seen Boeing sell on the news, of course, that we talked about last week. And it's not often that you get an opportunity like this in Boeing. And oddly enough, and for those of you that don't watch our Market Wisdom channel or educational videos, this sort of pullback into Boeing saying, hey, look, we knew that this week on the 18th is when you were likely to get the first to the FAA clearance for the MAX to come back online and be degrounded. And we're talking about buying into this pullback. And it was actually on the Market Wisdom channel that we mentioned this play. And this is what you would have had. Now, I was selling into the news when it came off. That's where the shorts were good, back up here around that 220 and 230 area. And then today, I was just looking to take a breakout at 203 and then defend that same price. So you got to make sure when you get an opportunity to play in advance of news, buy it a week before, sell it on the news, take advantage of it. It's not often you see it. Thankfully, we're getting to move back up on Boeing. If it breaks 205 in the afternoon, maybe it's going to be bullish for the rest of the day. But it's been a muted test of this 200. It hasn't been a strong one just yet. I'm still buying in front. But if we don't break VWAP by like 1 o'clock, I'll probably walk away from it. Brendan, what's up?
A headline here on this clean spark. This came out right at 9:30, so right when the market opened, but a little bit late to the party here as far as this one is concerned. CLSK just popping up here. You can see volume coming in through 11 there. Nice little breakout for CLSK late in the day, but maybe a runner here, guys?
We can look at that clean energy name. What was the symbol?
SK.
CLSK, okay. Obviously going to be, well, not obvious, but I guess it's in the NASDAQ right now. Clean Spark, 2.3%. Making that move. The daily chart, I know Brendan just went over some of these moves here. 1075, we've broken through, just looking back at the pre-market and what's been happening. Some base down here. It's basing out right now. That looks really good, actually, on these kind of base outs. So, I like this, actually. 1130, it's been a nice little move up. We know we can go more than 12%. If we check out the daily chart quickly, it has room to go as well. So, 1233, guys, or 1133.
Yeah, definitely a good look there. There's another name, and apologies for not getting to this one a little bit, but it is starting to form more of a level for me, at least CIIC. Check that. It was a nice little trade the last couple of sessions, breaking to the upside, and I think one of the reasons why I kind of like this level, and I'll show you short, is you get these parabolic, multi-day parabolic moves to the upside. I know apparently that's the new drinking word, so apologies to anyone that has to take a sip when I say parabolic. I'm looking for a downward break now in this name, and it's starting to slow down. You see this harder consolidation, which it hasn't done on the 15-minute chart. Holding right here at 17 even. Now, there's been a few failed breaks here, so, certainly take some profit. You get 40, 50 cents initially. Definitely take some profit on that break, but 17 looks like a level that if it breaks to the downside, I'm going to be involved in CIIC. I already have, I'm not going to go over FANG because I know Brendan has talked about that name, but I'll go back over to CBAT just for you guys. About to get some more shares out here, and just to reiterate the plan, once I get filled down around the 730 area, we'll have our nice almost 50-cent win. I'll hold the rest just in case we get that home run trade all the way back into 680, 690, whatever it happens to be, close to a dollar winner, but that's only for the last 10%. At that point, I would trail this one back up to 750 to make sure we lock in some semblance of profits. You don't want to have a winner like that turn into a loser on a small cap. I feel like that's always reckless. KNDI still basically flat for me here, so that breakdown trade. Again, I like the breakout at 1350 more than I like this breakdown, so size accordingly. But I think I can get 20, 30 cents out of it, at least initially. Boeing still in the money. There's the fill in CBAT. That's been a good one. We're slaying this dragon today. Probably the easiest trade I've had all morning long. Now we're just looking for the home run trade in the afternoon.
All right, yeah, CBAT home runs. We're going to try to line those up all the time for you guys, but yeah, they're hard to find, these home runs, but we are going to get them for you. NEO has been a home run today. I don't know if it's going to turn into more of a home run or not. We hammered this here. My number one stock today is NEO, so that's been a good one. Now it's coming up, and I just want to talk about this because a lot of you are looking at NEO, so I'll look at it a little bit of a longer time frame as well coming up. But right now, I mean, we could bounce off this. I do like a VWAP trade at this time of day. 47.12 is there. Let's just have a quick look at what it looks like on a 3-minute though, just to see. Yeah, you see how choppy? Like, you see how it looks so much different on a 3, obviously, than a 1. I mean, that's not rocket science, but this just gives me an indication that I don't really want to trade this when it looks like that, right? I mean, you can go over to AMD and just see what I was talking about. Like, holy, Brendan, there has to be something here on AMD. I mean, I've never, I've seen something like this before, but I mean, we called this long. I hope you guys are still long. Say hell yeah in the chat if you are. But wow, still moving to the upside here. AMD, what's NVIDIA doing? Like, did I not have an order? What is going on? Like,
NVIDIA's
this NVIDIA, like I had an order to go through 530. I'm missing these trades right now.
I mean, I was talking about that 530 a little bit earlier as well. So a key price there, and what a fantastic break that's turning out to be. Now remember, I mean, I took a shot and failed on NVIDIA. Of course, that's going to be my worst stock of the day. It's kind of it goes without saying. The only good thing I can say about it is if I got stubborn with this trade, it probably would have ruined the entire day. There's just no question about it. So if it breaks the top here, we did give a bit of a higher time frame look that does bear mentioning. Now, NVIDIA's been in this choppy range going into that, sort of going into these earnings. And this 545 price at the top, I think we talked about this in our preparation going through the watch list. It's not to say that I'm going to revenge trade it, but if it gets to 545, I look at the top end of this, and I'm going to have to take a little bit of a shot in the afternoon. If it continues this breakout, it's just been such a hard resistance point, at least last week, that I'll take a shot at 545 here in NVIDIA if it does get there.
Yeah, I'm literally surprised, like, because you guys know that we broke this down, and I see some hell yeah on the chat. So guys, thank you for the love on the AMD call. I'm out of it, and I thought I was. Remember, I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I made some calls on NEO today. There's no way. I was just wondering if we're going to get to this level here from yesterday. Whatever, we'll talk about it. I was like, nah, we're not going to get there. We're long 82.60. There's no way this is going to go straight to the upside. So made the call, but did not get aggressive enough with it, and we could have. We left $1 plus on the table. Like, these were big positions, guys. So that's why when you look at AMD and it's trading like this, and then you look at a stock like NEO and it's trading the other way, it's too choppy for me to be involved with. So I back away from it. Here's Nicola on a 1 minute. Let's check out what it looks like on a 3 minute. It is coming back down. We only have 10 minutes to go. Thank you so much. I do see on the chat that we're almost at 2,000 likes, right? Maybe we need Valeria to spin around, give them what they want, and then we can get to that 2,000 likes. So let's set that up in a minute, guys, if we can. We'll go to Valeria and we'll see if she can promote the likes for us, because we need to get to 2,000. That's generally our goal. Valeria, let's get that 2,000 mark.
Of course, Sean, and hey guys, we're here for you every day to support traders out there. So guys, please give us some support also and hit the like button so we can get 2,000 of likes. Back to Sean.
All right, I'll take it. Yeah, so that was Nicola there, the last one. Thank you so much, Valeria. I did want to go over Palantir again. And look, this is what we're talking about right here. It looks like it may go. It's just been too choppy here around VWAP. It has been nice, actually, around VWAP the last little bit there. So we'll watch to see if it does take this level out. I'm interested in this again, 1860 on Palantir. Just because of time of day, it will be relatively light, but I do like that one. Donkey Kong fades off of that 50 level. That would have been a great short. We did talk about that. This is why I didn't take I wasn't long here. You do have some consolidation, and look, again, it's all about education. Remember we talked about that? There's the 2000. Thank you so much, everybody. There's the consolidation. 50 break works. Also, this 49.70 break down works as well. So consolidation, then the break, like you have consolidation right here, and then the break to the high side. Consolidation a little bit right here. When it breaks, it goes, and then it comes back down and goes again. So this is 3 kind of key levels here for DraftKings. Really glad to talk about that for you. Maybe I'll post that up on Twitter as well, but that's some good talk there on DK. And
I did hit the airplane as we came out of there from Valeria, and we'll be flying high if we get to those targets when it comes to likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe, because I think that way you get the reminder to join us at the beginning of the day. And, I did get that pullback into VWAP here, and you always have to have a bit of a target. When you get a bit of a pullback in a downward trend like this, you have to anticipate that it might reject off of this level. Both a lower high from 205 and then VWAP stands out. Everyone's looking at the same charts, guys, so you got to pick your take profits carefully. So I do get the win that I was been waiting for all morning long. We do cash the $3. It took a few cracks at it, scalping a couple times for $1.25, and then now getting this nice little winner on Boeing. The other advantage of hitting the subscribe is that, like, if you're a subscriber, you're gonna get a reminder of every single day when you go into YouTube about what you need to join. And usually we're up at 9 o'clock. Now, because there is so much going on in the markets, there's so much for us to cover. I don't think we've ever gotten through the entire watch list, Sean. Maybe it's happened once or twice, but it feels like it's never happened. That's going to change because we're starting at 8:30 for you guys, so it's going to be a little bit easier for us to go over all of the stocks that we think are important, all of the trades that we want to put on that day, all of the levels that we think are going to be good, and not just sort of rushing through in that half an hour. That's why we're doing an hour for you guys. We just feel like it's the right call. That's starting November 30th. Do not forget, you don't want to miss out on that first half an hour, the extra half an hour, I should say, because it's going to be fire.
Yeah, of course, it's going to be fire. And yeah, look, it's not that much earlier, guys. You can wake up a half hour earlier. I know Brendan can. What's up, Beep?
I will definitely be here a half an hour earlier for that. HCAC, Hennessy Capital, another SPAC just popping up here. Well, not just, but a few minutes back, had a big pop there through 1050 up to 1080. This is the Canoe EV SPAC, so another SPAC with an EV maker going public, 3.5%. Not seeing anything in the way of headlines on this, but big buyers stepped up there on this one, guys.
So, I said this to you guys that I like the breakout at 1350 more than I like the short on KNDI through 1285, so it's not necessarily going to be a gigantic position. But either way, it is doing the roll. I just got some shares out, and I said take 15, take 10 to 15 cents, and then take 25. That's exactly what I do. I still actually have the last little bit of this, and if it gets all the way down to this opening range bottom, call it 1220 or so, it's bounced around there a couple of times, I would take it off in front of that, so probably around this 35 range. I'll be perfectly happy to take off. We'll end up being like a 50-cent winner on the last third of the position. Now that we've made this breakdown, as is my custom at this time of day, I will tighten the stop up. Previously, I would have given it to like a 1305 to 1310 area. Now, if it cracks VWAP, I'll just get out at around 1295. So I'm still risking a few pennies on the last third of this position to get that 50-cent win. Otherwise, let's just walk away from this one. It has been good. The last thing I want to get to, and I want to make sure I cover this one just one last time for you guys. This 85 level has been a big one on YY on Joy here. It is still holding, guys, and it's still a bit of a. It's not a size order, and I think that's the thing I want to get to you guys. There's been buying at this level, but it's not like there's a big bid here sitting on the 85, which is obvious for you. It's just that every time it ticks below it, somebody just smacks it right back to the upside. It can't catch an offer to the downside there. It's like market orders just start coming in, or iceberg orders step up. So it's not always obvious, but trust me, it needs to hold below this level before I'd even think about shorting this one again. And of course, they had that big short sell report that came out. I've done pretty well on it today, but there's been no home runs. Every single one I've had has been like a dollar scalp. I just haven't been able to get a bigger move. And I'm still thinking if we hold this 85 bottom, I mean, the amount of shorts that'll start covering this thing, and then eventually that 90 break where there was another seller, that could be a good one and still on my radar for the afternoon. It just can't seem to break out. That buyer and that seller, $5 apart, very, very serious here on Joy.
All right, joy to the world, Valeria. Christmas. Believe me, guys, I don't know what your family feels about Christmas. We love Christmas, but the songs have already started. So we're already in our house. We've got the lights up. We've got we don't have the lights outside yet. We're getting our tree this week. I think it's a bit early, but some of the wife's friends already have it up, so we're going to get ours this weekend. We get a real tree. We used to get the fake trees, but that kind of got a little cheesy. I love the real tree. I love the smell. There's nothing better than it. I am a volunteer for Scouts Canada, and we sell those trees, and that's one of our biggest fundraiser. Last year, I crushed the record. I'm pretty good salesman.
Before we go to Brendan, I gotta ask you a question. Do they still do the tree planting in Cub Scouts? Like, do you still do the?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do random. Yeah, we do random events like that, including camping in cold weather. Not fun. B, real or fake tree, Brendan?
Fake. First off, I was informed last night that ours is happening Friday.
Okay.
The wife has the day off on Friday, so it's going up on Friday. So yeah, I think everyone. I'm in a condo, so I can see across the street. In other buildings, there's lots of trees up already, so we're amongst many. This one just popping back up again. BLU, this Bellis Health. Yeah, you can trade it on the NASDAQ or in Toronto as well. Just popping up again through 315 there. Little volume spike, guys.
Raheem for the win there. And I look, if you're a trader, one of the things that you got to consider is U.S. Thanksgiving. That's a big holiday. Of course, the U.S. markets are closed, so I did a couple of I have a tradition. We put our tree up on that day, watch a little football on the Thursday, and then put the tree up on that day. I also got married around that time, just so that my honeymoon, I wouldn't be missing too much in the market. And then every single year, I'd get reminded as to when it would be, which just makes it a little easier for me because I can be forgetful at times, guys. But I think, look, it's been a fantastic show. We only have a couple of minutes left, so I want to make sure that you guys know everything that we're looking at here. The last position I do want to let you guys remind you about, because I haven't covered in just a little bit, just to go back over to Macy's. If it does break back up past this 920 area, I think that's a bit of a breakout long, in addition to just taking out my short. It's still in the money I'm getting out of VWAP, but watch out for this 920. It is a double top, and I think it's a good one. We're not quite done earnings. There's still a few interesting names on that board there. So let's go over to Brendan to cover the earnings.
I was just trying to check there. I think we are officially, it's safe to say, kind of over the hump, over the halfway point when it comes to earnings season this time around, but definitely still some to have a look at. I just noticed that McAfee is on here, guys. First one since they went back to public markets. McAfee for tomorrow.
Yeah, McAfee. I don't even remember the symbol. I mean, I just remember that was a good one for us when it IPO'd. What else is on there? HP, Williams, Sonoma. Ooh, Foot Locker. Nike's been going a little ham lately, so we'll see if Foot Locker also on a little pin action there from Nike earnings. So we will. Let's check out Foot Locker right now. FFL here. Let's just see what it's been doing lately. Up to $40. I'm just going to give you this look quickly here because, yeah, that's what I was saying. I believe Nike earnings was somewhere around here where they bumped up to $40. Foot Locker and Nike definitely hand in hand on some of this, guys.
Yeah, and I think definitely a look at workday there. I'm not even sure what those two symbols are in the middle, but obviously anything that's going to be in play, we're going to be touching it and trading it for you guys. Let's not stay away from what works. You want to make sure you're making the money in the best reads. Candidly, I made a bit of a mistake. I think in my read this morning, Boeing's been a fantastic stock for me. I got to it late and traded NVIDIA, which I don't think I've ever made money. Now that I think about it, I have to double check. I don't think I've ever made money shorting NVIDIA. So maybe that today is a continuation of that pattern. And I'll go back to Boeing a little more heavily, where the read's been good for this last week. Something that me and my friends in high school used to do and play for real cash every now and then ends up being today's national day. Let's find out what it is with Valeria.
Thank you, Neil, and hey guys, thank you for another great trading morning together. Please don't leave without subscribing to our channel and smashing the like button. Guys, our next educational video is ready for you on the live chat, and happy National Monopoly Day, everyone.
So we used to call it Monopoly for Mun back in high school. We'd play for not a lot of money, just for fun and some coinage, get some pizza and wings and whatever, cheap because we had no money back then. And it was a lot of fun to play. I will say this, Sean, I guarantee you could guess who this was, but one of our friends
Jason
once caused a 3-hour argument over a game of Monopoly for $20 and stalled and ruined the game because of one trade that he made, or he was trying to sell some property, and held up the game, refused to roll the dice until he got his deal done. It was absolutely ridiculous. I love you, Jay. You know you're my brother, but it was completely insane. I love the fact
that was an easy call out.
John knew exactly who it was. Look, great guy, Jason, successful dude. Top 40 under 40 in Canada, so congratulations to him. Obviously, it's been a fun show. Sonos, I think, like I said, I thought that was the best call and the best trade this morning. Maybe there's a better percentage mover you can find somewhere out there, but maybe not the structure of that trade. And do not forget, on the 30th, we're starting things a little bit earlier, so it's going to be an 8:30 start. And one last thing to do, I think it's a great picture. We talk about stocks to own and not trade. And we released a video on some plays you can make for the election, and there was a call in there about Boeing that was pretty good. There's another one here that if you watch the live taping, it would have been profitable for you. I'm not going to spoil it. You got to watch the video to find out. So stocks to own and to not trade. On the Market Wisdom channel, Valeria has dropped the link. Do make sure you check that one out.
I did want to also talk about, we love you, Jason, but also the owner of Day Trade the World, Daniel Schleffer, 40 under 40 as well.
Yes,
so,
as well.
Big shout out to you. And I was number 42, so I just missed it there.
Great, good number. I like 42.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's your number. So I was 43 there then, because Neil was 42. Yeah, it's been a big day, Neil. Let's wrap this up.
Exactly, and I will note this, Daniel Schleffer has never held up a game of Monopoly because he's not like that. I'm just kidding. Anyways, down the line, fun times here for all of us. For Valeria doing an awesome job as always. For Sean, Sonos over there, a fantastic trade. For Brendan, who knocked it out of the park yesterday when we taped live with Raheem Alani. I think it was a great segment. Make sure you watch it when we drop that video. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you tomorrow, guys.